Good morning, now 5 o'clock. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. The White House hailing what it calls a new system of trade after the president finalized tariffs on nearly 70 countries.
Higher tariffs on many countries were set to take effect today, but have been delayed until next Thursday to give customs officers time to prepare. One country's new tariff rate will begin today, Canada's. The president raising that country's tariff from 25% to 35%, although it will affect only a small percentage of Canadian products.
ABC's Nicole D'Antonio, the reason why President Trump said yesterday that cross-border flow of fentanyl from Canada has not been halted. Police have identified a suspect in a quadruple murder and the abandonment of an infant in a front yard during extreme heat warnings in West Tennessee. Residents in Dyer and Lake counties are on edge.
To know that murderers come down through here, I mean, yeah, it's scary. Who could have done that? Who could have left a baby at it somewhere with strangers outside in this heat? I mean, who would do that?
Police are looking for 28-year-old Austin Drummond. He's white, 5'10", 190 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes, and he is believed to be driving a damaged 2016 Audi A3 with Tennessee tags R01896. Now, if you see him or his vehicle, police say call 911. Now, the four dead are the parents, the grandmother, and the uncle of the 7-month-old baby that was abandoned. Police have not said how the parents and the grandparents were killed. Market Numbers Report brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com.
Major Wall Street indexes dropped Thursday. The Dow was down 330 points. The S&P 500 lost 23, and the Nasdaq fell 7 points. Microsoft and Meta helped lift stocks on Wall Street amid choppy trading. Facebook parent company Meta Platforms surged 11% after beating sales and profit targets. Microsoft was up 4% after posting better than expected sales and profit. The Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge ticked higher last month, signaling President Trump's tariffs are beginning to raise prices for many goods. Prices rose 2.6% in June compared with a year ago. That's up from an annual pace of 2.4% in May. China's cyberspace regulators summoned chipmaker NVIDIA over security concerns about its H2O chips. They claim the chips can be tracked and turned off remotely. The meeting comes 2 weeks after the U.S. allowed NVIDIA to resume sales in China. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
All right, stock futures this morning looking kind of red. We've got Dow futures down 397, NASDAQ futures losing 237, and the S&P 500 index futures minus 59. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News. Okay, so the roads don't look too bad this morning. Really, no delays to speak of if you're traveling in on 2440 or 65. You do have back to school in Wilson County today, so careful of that. You'll see more buses out there today. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.506, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning to your friends. How are you? And happy Friday to you. So I don't know if you folks can see on Super Talk TV. I know you folks cannot see, though, on the radio, but I am in a parka, Joan. I am just, I'm shivering.
Why? Why would you be shivering?
The high is only going to be 84 today.
I know, isn't that great?
Only 84. I'm freezing. I'm totally kidding, obviously. It is nice that it's going to be, a lot cooler today. So in fact, I'm like literally only in a t-shirt, no old man shawl like I usually wear. No, I feel great today because it's not really, really hot. Usually it's like freezing in here. It's actually, did they adjust the air conditioner? I don't know. It's not as bad as it usually is in the building today. So it's looking forward again to a nice cooler day today. All right, we have a lot to talk about today here on a Friday. Did you watch Kamala Harris on Colbert?
I listened to what she had to say. I didn't watch her.
So I would call this segment, how does Kamala Harris tell us she's running for president without telling us that she's running for president? So I'm going to play some audio. This is Kamala Harris on Colbert, and this is apparently being billed as the first TV interview since she lost. So this is Kamala Harris.
Who's leading the Democratic Party? I'm just curious.
There are lots of leaders. And
there's generally a leader of the Democratic Party.
So she's not going to answer. And the reason she's not going to answer is because whoever she mentions will end up running against her in 2028. Because think about this. Is she going to mention Gavin Newsom? She'll probably, when she runs for president in 2028, she's going to run against Gavin Newsom, so she can't say the leader is Gavin Newsom. I mean, clearly she can't say that it's Joe Biden. Can she say it's, I don't know, Josh Shapiro? Clearly that's not who the leader of the Democrat Party is because they're anti-Semitic, right? So Colbert is trying to get her to say, who is the leader? Is it Barack Obama? She can't say that, of course. I say the leader, by the way, is Barack Obama and George Soros, but we'll continue that discussion here in a little bit.
That's the leader of the Democratic Party. Who comes to mind?
I think there are a lot of, I'm not going to go through names because then I'm going to leave somebody out and then I'm going to hear about it. But let me say this. I think it is a mistake for us who want to figure out how to get out and through this and get out of it to put it on the shoulders of any one person. It's really on all of our shoulders.
Oh, stop applauding. That's a chicken answer. That is a chicken butt answer. What's another word for chicken See, I would do that, but I don't want to rip off Brian Wilson.
I knew that was Brian Wilson's.
Is that Brian Wilson? Is that where we got that? Brian
be.
Wilson? It's got to be. That's got to be Brian.
I just see fun buttons and I press them.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Sam. Anyway, that's a cop-out answer. I love that people are like, oh, yay, that's a great No, it's not a great answer. She can't or won't name who is leading the party for a couple of reasons. Again, she's still thinking about running for president, so whoever she says is leading the party could end up being her opponent in 2028. Is it Chuck Schumer, though? Clearly not. Old white guy. Democrats, of course, can't have that. Is it AOC, the squad? Cory Booker? Cory Booker is trying to be, with all of that toxic masculinity, He is clearly trying to be the leader of the Democrat Party with that bellowing from earlier this week, yelling, by the way, at a couple of female senators. Nobody seems to have a problem, though, with that toxic masculinity. Is it Gavin Newsom? Maybe. Is it Pete Buttigieg? If you look at the polling, perhaps. She also spoke about why she is not running for governor for the fine state of California or anything else, she claims.
Recently, I made the decision that for now, I don't want to go back in the system. I think it's broken. And I always believed that as fragile as our democracy is, our systems would be strong enough to defend our most fundamental principles. And I think right now that they're not as strong as they need to be. And I just don't want to, for now, I don't want to go back in the system. I want to travel the country. I want to listen to people. I want to talk with people. And I don't want it to be transactional where I'm asking for their vote.
Right. Whoa. I want to replay that last part.
I want to travel the country. I want to listen to people. I want to talk with people.
Joan, can I ask a question? When was the last time you heard anybody traveling the country wanting to talk to people?
Yeah.
Right?
That would be candidates.
That would be people running for office.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to travel the country. I want to listen to people. I want to talk with people.
Right, but you're not running for okay, I got it. Do you know what's so funny about this? Is that it's like 2:00 in the morning. I'm listening to this. I openly start laughing at the absurdity. Do you know what this is? This is Kamala Harris once again gaslighting the American people. Obviously, you're running for president if you are traveling the country and talking to people.
I want to travel the country. I want to listen to people. I want to talk with people.
Whatever. That's just plain silly. Hey, Joan, you want to go to Des Moines and talk to people?
Sure. What do you talk to people about in Des Moines?
The corn.
That's
corn.
what it is.
That's right.
Ethanol. I find this laughable. And by the way, the fact that Stephen Colbert didn't pick up on that or refuse to, discuss. Come on, dude.
Yeah. He chose not to.
Please, let's travel the country and start talking to people and start listening to people. But I'm not running for president. By the way, when she talks about the system is broken, we'll talk about that. Colbert did focus on that comment about the system being broken.
To hear you say that it's broken, to hear you say that our systems aren't strong enough is harrowing.
Well, but it's also evident, isn't it?
No, it is.
And it is.
It is harrowing.
And it is.
I mean, there's almost no curse word bad enough.
But it doesn't mean we give up. That's not my point.
Okay, because that's what I'm hearing. Like you don't want to be part of the fight anymore.
No, oh, absolutely not. I am always going to be part of the fight.
Okay.
That is not going to change.
Right. So just to be clear, Kamala Harris loses an election and the system is broken. Now, she does sound defeated. She does sound like she's giving up, but clearly she's not. She's running for president. She talks about the system being broken. Can I ask a question, though? Like, what exactly is she talking about when she says that the system is broken? Because if she's talking about Donald, now you could talk about the Democrat Party being broken. Absolutely. You could talk about them being broken. You know who broke them? Donald Trump. But if you're talking about the system being broken, I would like to know, what exactly does that mean? Because it seems to me like things are going pretty well. We'll talk about that straight ahead. It is 5:15. Time to check the roads on WTN.
No delays so far. We checked out 40, 65, and 24 heading into the city. No problem so far this morning. Yep. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Sorry, John.
You can just talk anytime during.
I didn't mean to blurt in during. I feel like Cory Booker. I'm sorry.
Oh, did your eyes just enlarge?
Veins popping out of my bald head, the whole thing.
At least you weren't yelling at me.
Not yet.
Like he was yelling at Amy Klobuchar.
Yes, and Cortez, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'd broken any TVs.
Probably not, Sam.
Well done, Sam.
Oh, you didn't hear me? His name is Sam.
Sam. Well, Sam. Well, Joan. Start that. Let's see here. For the weather for today, pleasant. Finally expected a high of 84. I see what you did there, Sam. Pleasant. Finally expected high of 84 with a feels like temperature of 92, 30% chance of showers with pop-up thunderstorms possible throughout the day as well. Do you know what is weird about the weather now? And this sounds bizarre to say, but it is cooled down, and now I can go into my pool. Does that make sense?
I think you just should have been renting out the pool while you weren't using it because it's the perfect weather to be in the pool.
You know, we've talked about that. We've actually spoken about renting out our pool. That is. Do you know that that's actually a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a website.
Yeah. You know what though? You know what the problem is with my pool? It's like an above ground pool.
Mm-hmm.
I used to call it a white trash pool, and then Amy got mad at me because I remember the text very well because I was joking. I forget who I was on the air with, but I was joking about my white trash pool. That's what I call it. It used to call it. And I got a very chilly text from Amy. She has never, in our almost 8 years together, she has never told me what to say and what not to say about our family life. I got a chilly text one day as I'm in mid-conversation. Please stop calling it a white trash pool. It's not. And I had to figure out a way to pivot out of that conversation in mid-monologue. But I did. And it's really not. I mean, it's an above-ground pool, but it is surrounded by, a nice, deck. You know what I mean? So whatever.
Okay.
Nobody wants to come swimming in my pool. And I don't want them to.
The YouTube chat wants to have a pool party there.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, I bet they do.
Oh, there could be some trouble.
You know what? I don't trust Turd Ferguson not to pee in my pool.
That's right. They don't call him Turd for nothing.
That's exactly right, Joan. I don't need no turds in my pool. Turd, I'm kidding. I love you. All right, moving right along.
And don't we all?
Yeah, we do. All right, so you know what? I got sidetracked with the whole pool thing. Let's see here. So we spoke about the Democrats and they're broken. So she talked about how the system is broken. I don't know what that means. Like, what does she mean when Kamala Harris says that the system is broken? Because if she's talking about Donald Trump, things are going well. All the financial successes, the GDP is up, hiring is up, markets are up. We've got tariffs coming in, the money from the tariffs coming in, deals are being set with Japan, the EU, South Korea, China is coming soon. That broke yesterday during our show, as a matter of fact. We got low inflation. We got military recruitment is high. Trump is ending wars or working on ending wars. NATO is stronger than ever, and illegal immigration is at a record low. You know what? I'll take that broken system any damn day of the week. Kamala Harris. And let's not forget, it was under she and Joe Biden. It was exactly the opposite of everything that I just mentioned. Right? We had high illegal immigration. We had really high inflation. I could go on and on with all of this. In my opinion, Joe Biden is the one that encouraged the wars through his weakness as well. I mean, whatever. I've done all these monologues. It just pisses me off. So, but I think it's funny, though, with Kamala Harris, how she says that the system is broken. Also, the thing that is broken also is Kamala Harris's polling. That's the other problem. So yesterday, we shared with you the polling that showed that Pete Buttigieg was at 16% for 2028. She was at 13%. The others were behind her. You had Gavin Newsom. You had Cory Booker. I think Newsom was at like 7 or 8%. Cory Booker was at like 3%. But think about it. You had her on the road and on stage for 107 days. She was vice president. She was a senator, and she was the attorney general for the fine state of California. And she is polling behind a dude that was a small town mayor and a terrible transportation secretary. So, yeah, what is broken is Kamala Harris's polling. And I believe her spirit as well. Juan Williams says it is all about internal polling. Listen to this.
I think that might be where we're going here. I think, though, she got a little bit of a shock when she looked at some of those internal polling numbers and saw that despite having run for president, there was no overwhelming support for her in running for the governor's office in California. And going forward, I must say, you don't hear a lot of people on the ground saying, oh, yeah, we want her to come right back.
Well, that is exactly right. And I also think there's this. There's so much. When she is asked, who is the leader of the Democrat Party? I want you to think about this. You've got Kamala Harris. You've got Joe Biden, whatever. You got Obama. But you've also got Gavin Newsom. You've got Cory Booker, who is trying to be the leader of the Democrat Party. But if you ask the average person on the street, Pete Buttigieg would not be considered the leader of the Democrat Party. Yet here he is at the top of the polling for 2028. So what does that tell you about America's perception of the Democrat Party? I just thought that was interesting. So I'm with Juan Williams. I don't think anybody's excited about Kamala Harris. But the other thing that she's going to have to contend with, if you think about this, the other thing she's going to have to contend with is Joe Biden and the cognitive issues, the cognitive cover-up, the auto pen cover-up. That remains a very big deal. She had lunch with Joe Biden every week, she says. And she didn't notice his cognitive decline? So she's either lying when she said Joe Biden is sharp as a tack. She was either lying then or she was absolutely clueless as to what was going on with Joe Biden, which means that she's not very observant and probably not very smart. Joan, which would you rather be? If that question was presented to Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so let's talk about the Joe Biden cognitive decline, auto pen cover-up. So Kamala Harris, when you said that he was sharp as a tack, were you lying then, or did you believe that he was sharp as a tack and you are clueless, dumb, and non-observant? Which would you rather be? Because it got to be one of those two, right? I'm not off base on this, right?
No, you're not off base.
All right.
Not even a little bit.
So I don't know if you're Kamala Harris. There is no good answer to that question.
No.
Meantime, expect to hear a lot from this guy.
So Trump says we're going to release the files, we're going to release the files, we're going to release the files. Then he says we're not going to release the files. And people are mad, including MAGA, saying, wait a minute, you said you were going to release this information and you're not. And what does he do? He's like, we're going to arrest Obama.
Yep.
What? That has nothing to do with anything, but it's the distraction machine.
So that is Pete Buttigieg, right?
Okay.
So he is doing the thing. Pete Buttigieg is doing the thing. Has Pete Buttigieg written a book? Sam, do you know? Somebody Google that for me. So if Pete Buttigieg has written a book or he's got a book coming out, that would tell you that he is...
Oh, my gosh. He's got two.
Has he written any lately?
2020.
Okay, so that is... 2020 is going to be before he was in the Biden administration.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he's got a book coming out before 2028. And I do believe, though, that it is very clear that he will be running for the presidency. There will be a fantastic primary, and we'll see what happens. By the way, it is also possible that the Democrat machine very quietly tells Kamala Harris, please don't run in the primary. Please don't run, because then they're going to have to choose between Kamala Harris, a black female candidate for president, and a gay man. And so it's going to be, the virtue signaling Olympics, the woke Olympics with these two. It has nothing to do with anybody's ability to run the country, and it'll have everything to do with, DEI and all of that nonsense, which, by the way, the American people have clearly signaled that they don't care about that. They simply want the best person for the job. And I'm here to tell you that neither Pete Buttigieg or Kamala Harris would be the right person for the job. It is 5:25 on Nashville's Morning News. Joan Jones has the news coming up at 5:30. Joan.
Yeah, so which school system is back to class today? And
Ooh, I know. How do I know?
How do you know?
My wife snapped at me yesterday. Leave me alone. School starts tomorrow.
Okay, so now
honey.
we all know.
Okay, honey. I'm going in my basement for the rest of the night. That's was my house.
It's good to hear, Dan. Harmony in the household. Love it. We also have some proof that the relationship between Donald Trump and Elon Musk may not be so chilly after all. Those stories coming up here at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning. It's 5:30. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Metro Police have arrested 2 people in connection to the shooting death of a man on I-40 in Hermitage. Taekwon Jackson was killed Saturday night as he pursued a car filled with people that he believed had just broken into his car. Charged are 34-year-old Hannah Craig and 20-year-old Jonathan Brewington. Summer vacation is now over. Wilson County residents returning to class today for the new school year. Police there are stepping up patrols to keep students and staff safe. WSMV4's Brendan Tierney.
Now, Juliet, police are launching a school safety blitz, patrolling roads around schools. They say it's important to make sure people aren't passing school buses and are listening to crossing guard.
It's very fluid. You know, everybody's trying to get into a new routine. Sometimes there's new parents, sometimes there's new kids to schools, sometimes there's new people taking new routes to work just because of the school. The biggest thing that we're looking for is to make sure people are abiding the rules of the road as far as, you know, maintaining that slower speed limit, making sure they're not texting and driving.
Justin says patience is key, and you should leave extra time to get out the door on Friday as people get used to the school traffic.
Yeah, now Williamson County schools start on Monday. Davidson County, Metro Nashville, they head back on Tuesday. And then it's Rutherford County starting on Wednesday. Well, Elon Musk has made a pair of $5 million donations to the main super PACs backing House and Senate Republicans, making him the largest individual donor to both groups in the first 6 months of 2025. So who does that benefit? Well, President Trump, for one, his super PAC raked in over $200 million this year. CNN says that is a war chest that's unrivaled for a president who's term limited. That's the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News. Little sleepy on the roads for this Friday. Not really seeing any delays so far. Heading in on 24. Looks like 40 just begins to slow down at the merge with 24. And then you've got just a minor delay, very small, 65 south heading into the Goodlettsville area. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.537 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Dan here, along with Joan Jones, TV Slayer, and also Sam Rutherford.
Oh, my gosh.
And good morning to you. You know, Joan is a parent. Which did you like better? Did you like summertime better than school time, or do you prefer school time over summertime?
No, I love the summertime.
You love the summertime.
So,
okay.
Because I always worked mornings like this, I would come home and the kids would be ready to go. And so we'd head off to the beach, go to the museums, go do things. We had time during the day to do all fun things. And summer was a blast for us.
So there's always, this is always like a debate among parents, because in the summertime, it is a lot easier and the kids are out of school and so forth. But parents also have issues keeping the kids entertained. And so I think there's a lot of parents, particularly who perhaps work from home, who do have issues keeping their kids entertained. And so they actually prefer school time because the kids are like occupied. Now, that is not the case in my house. The other problem, you know, when you talk about the differences between obviously summertime and school time, is at school time you have to do the homework. And the homework is just,
ridiculous.
Such
Yeah.
a beatdown. And I am dreading homework. And did you notice when your kids were young, Joan, that the older they got, the harder it became to help them with their homework?
Oh, yeah.
Like, Riker is going into sixth grade, man. I'm out. Like, I can't. How dumb is that? I was terrible at math. I can help him with the social studies. I can help him with the history. I can help him with whatever. But when it comes to math, especially the way that they do math these days, because, you know, they do it differently now than when my kids were growing up. And certainly when I was growing up, you know, 2 + 2 isn't 4, Joan. 2 + 2 is only 4 if you go through 19 different steps.
Yeah. The core math thing, that happened with my daughter. My two boys were not affected by core math. When core math came around, I mean, yes, like you said, math was already hard for me. I did not follow that reasoning at all, and I still don't.
No, I don't get it. And, you know, thankfully, I am so very lucky, Sam, that Amy is really good at math, because I'm really dumb at math.
I would be teaching my kids the fundamental method. I don't understand the implementation of Common Core, because the only thing that's happened is test scores have plummeted.
Well, that's exactly right. Well, thanks to, of course, all the great work from the Department of Education. Hey, did you guys hear what Joe Biden said last night?
Oh, was this in his speech before? Who was he talking to?
He was in front of some audience somewhere.
Yeah.
And it was typical, you know, to be honest with you, it was typical mushmouth Biden. But I want to play one audio bite from Joe Biden, and this was last night.
My friends, we need to face the hard truth of this administration. And it has been to ease all the gains we've made.
Wait, what? So Joe Biden just said that Donald Trump is trying to, and I'm going to air quote this, but if you didn't hear it, ease all the gains we've made.
Okay.
Somebody please tell me what gains were made during the Biden administration.
The debt.
I think that the very obvious thing here is that the teleprompter said erase, and he read ease.
Hold on. I didn't catch that. Hold on.
My friends, we need to face the hard truth of this administration. And it has been to ease all.
You're right, Joan.
Yeah.
He was supposed to say erase. And he said, you know what the thing is with Joe Biden? We all know what he meant. It's sort of like Bidenese. You know what I used to say this when he was in office. Bidenese. I used to say Kamala-ese too, where it's like these phenomenal, fantastical word salads that they would, embark on. And it's like this journey trying to figure out what the hell they're talking about.
Give me a break.
That's exactly right. Give me a break. All right. So number one, okay, he misread the teleprompter.
All the gains we've made in my administration to erase history rather than make it.
Actually, I don't want Joe Biden's legacy to be erased. Do you, Joan?
No.
Do you, Sam?
No, not at all.
We don't want to erase Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's legacy. Heck no. We want their legacy and the legacy of the Democrats over that absolutely tragic 4 years of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. We want that to live on in infamy.
To erase fairness, equality, to erase justice itself.
Right.
And that's not hyperbole, that's a fact.
Sure, Joe. All right, there you go.
It's a fact.
Jack?
I did not say that. That's not true. I did not say that.
Remember when Joe Biden wanted to punch a voter? Remember that?
Oh, yes.
During that time, that was when he wanted to take that guy behind the barn or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Give him a whooping. Is what Joe Biden. Oh, he gave us a whooping, all right.
Yeah.
Joe Biden gave us a whooping. Why is he out?
I'm not sure.
Like, can I just ask that question? Why is he out? Of all the people that we don't want to hear from, it's Joe Biden. And here's the funny thing. The Democrats know how much of a train wreck the last 4 years have been, don't they?
I think so.
I mean, sometimes people walk around with like BO and they don't know it. Is that the case with Joe Biden and the Democrats? I mean, you know that Joe Biden, you people know that Joe Biden shanked it, right? I mean, as a nation, we all know because of the fact that Donald Trump won the popular vote, he won the Electoral College, and he won all the battleground states. So why is he out? I don't understand. I mean, I'm grateful for it, and I'm thankful for it, and I'm here for it. I just don't understand why they're wheeling him out.
I think it's a risk. I think you're going to further expose the fact that this dude was incapacitated while in office, and he should have taken a page from your book from yesterday and just stayed in the basement.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I had to go to the basement, Joan. Do you have a basement? Does your husband have to go to the basement sometimes because you're just in a bad mood?
No, I sent him outside.
You send him outside. Do you really? Like, seriously? Like, can we talk about this?
Well, he likes to work outside in the yard. I don't know if he'd probably say he doesn't like it so much, but he's just
He's just trying to escape the wrath of Joan.
Yeah. There's no wrath, but he works outside.
Really? Because our TV would indicate differently. You know what I'm beginning to think? Joan is never going to live down the TV situation.
I'm not going to, no.
Never going to live it down.
Cumulus Hall of Fame.
It's exactly right.
So the boss came in yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
And I was like, I heard her say from the hallway, "Hey, is Joan in there?" And I almost wanted to shrink underneath the counter.
But there's no room.
There's no room.
Mm-hmm.
So, I faced her. And she was laughing, saying, we're essentially the same height. And she said, I didn't think anybody could do that to a TV. Like, how'd you do that?
That was her question to me, too.
Yeah.
Like, how did teeny tiny little Joan do that? And I said, she's really scary when she's mad.
She only grows vegetables as a ruse.
Yeah.
Well, she grows vegetables to throw them at people. That's what, she uses them as ammo, right?
I have a big slingshot.
It wasn't actually Joan that broke the TV. She was actually hurling a cauliflower at me. I'm just kidding. All right. So anyway, and it was a lovely conversation between you and
Yes, it
and
was.
the boss.
Yes.
We affectionately call her the Office of No, which is actually pretty unfair. You know what, Joan? I don't know if I'm allowed to announce this yet, so I'm going to have to be a little vague.
Yeah.
The Office of No they've actually done something for the radio station that is huge.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't just leave it there. We need details, Dan.
We are getting a big upgrade on all of the internet computer stuff. So we're talking about better cameras.
We need that.
We're talking about better lighting.
Yes.
we're talking about some software, I guess. I'm not privy to all the details because, but, and this is probably why, because I can't keep a secret, but this is going to be very cool. And I don't know when it's going to happen. I think it's going to be a while before all of this actually takes place, but it's very exciting. So,
it is exciting. You know what? They put a lot of stock into how people watch online. They ask people to go to YouTube. And so, yeah, it's good to make it the best presentation we can have. I love that.
They can't, for whatever reason, find lighting that makes me look better. I don't know why that is.
Well, maybe they'll hire some makeup people.
That's what I need. Sure, Joan. Thanks. Couple other things real quick, and I think this is interesting. There is, would you call Joe Rogan, Joan, and certainly Sam, you wouldn't call him MAGA.
Oh gosh, no. Not even close.
Sam, would you call Joe Rogan MAGA?
Classical liberal.
Yes, that's what he refers
I
him to.
think he's actually a little bit off. He likes to call himself classical liberal, but he's got some crazy ideas.
He does have some crazy ideas. Joe Rogan does. But he's certainly, without going into all of that, but he's clearly not MAGA. Joe Rogan is not MAGA. So there is, and this is familiar for you folks that have been listening for a minute. I've actually done this before. But big headlines all over the place again, where Joe Rogan has been dethroned as the #1 podcaster, whatever it is on YouTube. And so they're trying to make this about MAGA. Like this is a major shift in what is going on the socials because Joe Rogan has been dethroned and they're trying to make Joe Rogan MAGA. Joe Rogan is not MAGA, but doesn't matter. There are these guys online and they're called the Midas Touch. Sam, have you heard of these guys?
No.
So they're basically podcasters that preach to the choir, and they have a massive, massive following. So I'm going to play a couple of audio bites of the Midas Touch just to give you an example of what these guys are doing and how they are just rabid anti-Trumpers. So listen to this.
A reporter asked Donald Trump, will you ever do better than 15% tariffs on the EU? Will you ever give a better deal? And Trump's like, better? Do you mean lower? Here, play this clip.
Mr. Trump, can you do better than 15% tariff rate for the EU?
Better meaning lower?
Yeah.
No.
And that's why you can't negotiate with this guy. Number one, he doesn't do real deals. He does fake deals. Number two, he's not looking for solutions. He's looking to harm and embarrass.
I don't know what that means. Like, do you even know what that means, Joan? Because
No.
when he talks about fake deals, we brought in hundreds of billions of dollars in very real money from these supposed fake deals, from these tariffs. So I don't get what he means by fake deals, but you see what I mean when I say that it sounds to me at first blush like they're just spewing talking points and preaching to the choir.
It's exactly what they're doing, and it's always come from people that have never actually done anything that would give them credibility to make those kind of statements. They've never made any deals in that aspect. People assume he grifted his way to being a billionaire.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing, is that it is so easy to just, again, spew talking points, and people would accuse me of doing the same thing as a talk show host. However, for me, I mean, I present evidence, and from what I could tell from this one video that I watched, and I've watched a couple of different videos, it is just talking point oriented. There's no real discussion as far as what the other side is saying, and that's kind of what I'm doing here, which is the guys saying these are fake deals. I don't know what that means. These are real deals that have been negotiated with very real leaders from countries all across the world, including, you've got Japan, China's in the works, South Korea was yesterday, and, of course, we all know what Trump did with NATO. So, I mean, I don't get it. Here's another clip real quick.
Donald Trump continues to bring up Iran. He's like, we beat them up very badly, but now they're still talking about enrichment, but we beat them up badly. Maybe because you didn't beat them up badly. Maybe because you didn't knock out the facilities. Maybe because you showed how utterly weak you are. Maybe that's why.
I don't get it. Again, Really? Because seems to me like all of those different countries and organizations all looked at what happened in Iran, and that their nuclear facilities were destroyed, and that was clearly an example of peace through strength. So this is what these guys are doing, and I don't really get it because it's all just sort of vapid talking points to me. And so whatever. And listen, if this is where the Democrat Party is at and this is what they want to do, fantastic. Knock yourselves out. But it just seems to me like it's not a winning formula as far as trying to, convince people on the other side of what you're trying to sell, because again, these are just vapid talking points. This is what they say in, I think this is Mediaite. They say, since Donald Trump returned to office in January, the Midas touch has constantly topped the charts, emerging as one of the country's most listened to shows. And you know what? Here's the deal. Good for them. I don't besmirch anybody's success, but to try to say like, oh, this is the left beating the right.
Yeah.
It's really not. I mean, please don't call. Can I tell you, I thought it was a mistake for Joe Rogan to show up to Donald Trump's inauguration because I knew that he would be painted as MAGA, and he's not.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's the tribalism at play where people just associate things with the label.
Mm-hmm. They say the success of the Midas touch through the first 6 months of Trump's administration indicates a potential shift in what resonates with Americans and what they want to listen to. I just don't think so. I mean, whatever. But I'm not seeing it. I don't think this is an indicator as to where Americans are. I think that this is an indicator as to where the Democrat Party is. Clearly they're not listening to or watching MSNBC. Clearly they're not listening or watching CNN. And so this is where they're going, this podcast, which is fine. Again, good for them, but bad for the people that are trying to paint Joe Rogan as MAGA when he's not. The other thing is Joe Rogan does long form interviews with people that, are speaking, a lot of truths. There's some other stuff on there that I don't really watch or understand. He has had Democrats on there. He's had Bernie Sanders on there, for example, and a lot of other Democrats too. And Rogan is just all over the place. And I love it. I mean, that's what I like about Joe Rogan. Without even looking at how they are looking at the analytics or anything else, I just reject on the premise that Joe Rogan is MAGA when he's not. But the media outlets that are covering this are trying to make a narrative and a story out of this that, in my opinion, clearly is misleading and not there. It is 5:54. Joan Jones has the news coming up at 6. Joan.
Hey, welcome to a kinder, more gentle Friday. The forecast is looking pretty good. Also, President Trump just kicked Melania out of her office. We'll tell you what that's all about. Stick around for that and more
Like I had to
coming
go
up.
to the basement last night?
Pretty much, yes. She had to go to the basement, too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's coming up here at 6 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
5:58, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Out of the land of random, why are we playing 9 to 5 from Dolly Parton? Why is that a bump? Just go ahead and regale me with why you played that.
Because it's Friday and we work 5 to 9.
Okay.
There's logic there, Dan.
Yes, somebody's asking me about a Murphy yo-yo.
Yeah.
Hey, Dan, how do I get my Murphy yo-yo? Do I send a prepaid? That's pretty awesome of the Murphy Show. Have a great. I don't understand the Murphy yo-yo thing.
So I'll admit to it. I was listening yesterday, and he got these from Dr. Kevin.
Dr. Kevin Mitchell.
At the Wellness Institute.
Okay.
And they're yo-yos with smiley faces. You can see it on the camera here.
Okay.
And he passed them out to everybody yesterday, and nobody could actually do their yo-yos very well.
You know what? That's I didn't get a yo-yo.
So sorry, Dan.
That's okay.
I think Ken accepted ours on behalf of the newsroom.
That's all good. Listen, and I saw Matt yesterday too, and I complimented him on the weight that he's lost.
Do you take it back now?
No, I'm not going to be petulant like that. I'm not going to be petulant like Murphy. Not, you know. I mean, he didn't give me a yo-yo.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm never going to say, "Hey, Matt, yo-yo, how are you?" Which is what I was. Hey, it is 6 o'clock.
That was a laugh point, wasn't it?
I tried.
I missed it again.
Got a lot more straight ahead on WTN.
Good morning. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Hey, it's Friday, and we're not frying today. See what I did there? It's Friday. We're not frying today. Well, Channel 4's Melanie Layden tells us that the heat wave is now officially broken.
We are still going to feel a little bit of humidity today. High temperatures will climb into the low to mid 80s for the most part today. Could feel more like the upper 80s, maybe even close to 90 outside.
And some rain over the weekend, too. We've got more on all of that right after the news. Well, plans to rezone the nations to include affordable housing. That's not sitting well with some residents.
We have so many cars here now that on either side of the street, people park on the street. There's no way, I don't even think an emergency vehicle could get down the street. Can we work together to keep the neighborhood charming, historic, friendly, full of fabulous people without packing people in?
Yeah, residents there want to stall that plan, which comes up at the next council meeting on Tuesday. That's where the bill will have a second reading and a public hearing. And First Lady Melania Trump has been evicted from her offices at the White House. That's because there's a construction project that's about to begin.
President Trump announcing a construction project at the White House.
I always said I was going to do something about the ballroom.
Planning to break ground in September on a new $200 million ballroom.
It'll be a great legacy project.
Renderings of the 90,000 square foot space show crystal chandeliers, marble floors, and gold trim, drawing close comparisons to the ballroom at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort.
Yeah, that $200 million project, it's going to come out of the president's pocket. Also, Melania Trump and her staff will be moving to temporary quarters within the White House. Market numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com.
Even Apple's analyst busting $94 billion in second quarter revenue couldn't save the broader stock market from losses Thursday. After peaking above 45,000 last week, the Dow lost 330 points yesterday and is barely above 44,000. The S&P gave up 0.4%. The Nasdaq closed off a fraction. In a push to get countries to the negotiating table, President Trump has introduced new tariff rates for dozens of countries, including a 35% hike for many goods from Canada, 50% from Brazil. Mexico has been given a 90-day extension. The Labor Department releases its July jobs report today. It is expected to show a slowing employment market and a slight rise in joblessness. Miller Lite is celebrating its 50th anniversary by offering 50,000 free beers at 450 bars across the country today. One free can per person. The bar locations can be found at the Miller Lite website. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
And yes, I already checked for you. There are 6 Nashville bars on that list. Dow Jones futures right now are minus 483. The NASDAQ futures down 314. S&P futures, they're down 74. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News. touch and go on 65 as you're approaching the Goodlettsville area this morning. And yep, we do have some delays starting to back up now on 24 in the Laverne area. Otherwise, looking pretty good on the roads so far this morning. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
.607 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning to you, friends, and welcome on in to a much cooler Friday, first day of school in Wilson County. Very, very exciting. Joan, not so exciting. I heard the futures.
Yeah.
So can we go
Pretty
through
bad.
those numbers again real quick?
Okay, so they've gotten worse since I did the report. So Dow futures are minus 500 right now.
Yeah, this is all tariff related. The president has come out with new tariff numbers and a plan. So the futures are down, you said 500?
Well, that's just the Dow.
The Dow.
NASDAQ minus 318, S&P futures down 76. They're all above 1%, between 1 and like 1.33% on each of the indexes.
So Trump came out with a new tariff plan last night. And I mean, can you just kind of give us the bullet point of what he is calling for?
Let's see. I would love to say that I have it right at my fingertips, but I don't. Do you have it?
So I do.
Okay.
Let me play some audio for you. This is Donald Trump. Now, weaving its way through the courts is the basis for Donald Trump and his tariff plan, right? He uses this 1977 law that basically grants him emergency economic powers. And it's, again, from 1977. And there's a lawsuit that is making its way through the courts, winding its way through the courts. And it is right now being heard in an appellate court. And basically the lawsuit says that Donald Trump does not have the authority to be implementing these tariffs, right? So the president was asked yesterday, why didn't you do this in your first administration?
Why didn't you invoke this law in your first term? You could have taken in billions upon billions of dollars in your first term, but you waited until your second.
Yeah, because in my first term, I was fighting lunatics like you who were trying to do things incorrectly and inappropriately to a president that was duly elected. And we did do certain tariffs in the first term. If you look at China, we took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. But when COVID came, the last thing I was going to do is tell France and Italy and Spain and a couple of other countries that we're going to hit you with tariffs. We had to fight the COVID situation.
Yeah. So, and the president is right when he's talking about the tariffs. He did implement tariffs on China, and a lot of people will say that those tariffs were great. Other people say not so much. Whatever. But now the president and the tariff talk. I mean, clearly it's indicating it's affecting the markets right now, or at least the futures. We'll have to see what happens. But this is the headline from this is CNN. So I guess what the president wants to do, the White House announcing yesterday, and he signed it last night at like 7 o'clock, the White House announcing Thursday that the universal tariff for goods coming into the United States will remain at 10%, the same level that was implemented back on April 2nd. But, and that's where things get a little weird, that 10% rate will apply only to countries with which the U.S. has a trade surplus. So in other words, if we are, if we got a great relationship with these nations and we do have a trade surplus, then your tariff is only going to be 10%. Basically, if you want access to the incredible economy the spending machine that is America, then we have to have a trade surplus, and you only have that 10%. So they talk about how that 10% will only apply to countries with which the U.S. has a trade surplus, countries to which the United States exports more than it imports. That applies to most countries, a senior administration official said. A 15% rate will serve as the new tariff floor for countries with which the United States has a trade deficit. About 40 countries will pay that new 15% tariff. That tariff will be lower for many of those nations than the April 2nd reciprocal tariffs, but it will ultimately be higher for a handful. They say more than a dozen countries have tariff rates that are higher than 15%, either because they agreed to a trade framework with the United States or because Trump sent their leaders a letter dictating a higher tariff. The senior administration official said those countries have among the highest trade deficits with the United States. So what countries have tariffs higher than 15%? There's a lot of them, and I'm not going to go through all of them. You've got Vietnam, 20%, Thailand, 19%, Taiwan, 20%, Switzerland, 39%. It goes on. I'm looking for, Malaysia, 19%, Iraq, 35%, and on it goes. Cambodia, 19%, Algeria, 30%, and on it goes. They do say, and I'm going to wrap it up with this, in addition, Mexico and Canada will continue to face higher tariffs for goods that are not exempt under the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Free Trade Agreement. Mexico on Thursday agreed to a 90-day continuation of the current 25% tariff rate the U.S. currently places on those items. Non-exempt Canadian goods imported to the United States will face a 35% tariff as of Friday, 12:01 a.m., up from a 25% tariff previously. So there's a lot there. And the market, Joan has the market, sunk the futures another 100, points since we've been speaking.
Let's see.
So
down Dow futures minus 490. I mean, it's still in the same area.
Just so folks know, we've been through this before.
There's also another report coming out. So it's the labor report comes out.
Yeah.
That'll be at 7:30, so a little over an hour from now.
And what are they predicting? Do we even know?
They're predicting that there'll be some loss of jobs and higher unemployment.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to look. And I'm not particularly interested today in the tariff talk. I guess maybe I should be. But we've been here so many different times.
Yes.
Right? So there's all this tariff talk. The market is reacting to it. And, okay, so the market's going to react and the market's going to do what the market's going to do. And these tariffs are always changing. I see where the president is going, though. If we have a trade surplus, then, and we have, what the president feels like is a good trade policy, then you are only going to pay a 10% tariff. If we do not have what the president would deem as a good trade policy with the country, then you're going to pay 15% tariff unless otherwise indicated. And I just went through some of those. So the market is reacting to that. Everybody's going to react to that. And we have been hearing the doomsayers predict doom, 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 and gloom, gloom, gloom for months now. And honestly, we see these market reactions. You've got to look at the long play, because the long play is that we are making billions and billions of dollars on these tariffs. And ultimately, and I've been saying this for a long time, and that is that if you voted for Donald Trump, he ran on tariffs. So far, it looks like the whole tariff thing is working out really well. He just came out with great deals for Japan, South Korea, EU, China. There's a framework for China as well that sounds pretty good. So we'll just have to sit back and wait and see how this whole thing plays out. Am I worried about, the tariff story right now? To be honest, I'm not. The market is reacting like the market is going to react, and then it'll more than likely rebound. That's the way that this works. It is 6:15, time to check the roads on WTN. 6:15, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. As far as your weather for today, it is going to be a lot cooler. Dare we say pleasant? Finally, expected high of 84 with a feels like temperature of only 92. 30% chance of showers with pop-up thunderstorms as well throughout the day. And appreciate you listening to Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Okay, there's a lot of things going on this morning regarding Russiagate. I'll tell you what, though, I'm going to get into Russiagate. 6:35, you're going to hear all you need to know about Russiagate coming up, because yesterday, as you probably know, there is a very big update to that story about how the Obama administration, John Brennan, the FBI, the apparatus, George Soros, and Hillary Clinton, all of them teaming up to take down Donald Trump's administration, a duly elected president of the United States. And I don't know, Joan, I hate to do this. I hate to say that the walls are beginning to close in.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to be the walls are closing in guy. Because remember, we always make fun of the walls are closing in people.
Yeah.
But does it feel like the walls might be closing in on Hillary and Brennan? Or because there's people out there like the Washington Post, I've got this as an example, where they are basically dismissing.
Yes.
I don't understand how they dismiss this.
You can't dismiss it. But if the media leads, see, it's been the media leading this story from the beginning anyway. We know that the FBI rolled out this information and gave it to the media to carry their water for them.
BuzzFeed?
Well, now they're carrying the water for them once again.
And remember what they did, right? With BuzzFeed. So
yes,
you have I can't remember, was it James Comey or was it John McCain who gave the dossier? It was a very coordinated effort, but it was either McCain or Comey. Somebody gave.
It was Comey.
It was Comey. So Comey gave BuzzFeed the dirty dossier. They tried to, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joan, they tried to sell it to the Washington Post and the New York Times. Nobody wanted to touch it. And so they gave it to BuzzFeed.
Right.
And then BuzzFeed, once they put it out there, then everybody else jumped in because now it's a story.
Exactly.
So nobody wanted to be the ones that started this story because everybody knew that the dirty dossier was bunk and BS and had no credibility. But by BuzzFeed, courtesy of James Comey, posting the story, well, then that gave everybody else the permission to cover the story. And you'll notice nobody tried to debunk the dirty dossier like they did with the laptop from hell, right? So everybody, just the media at large, they tried very hard to either ignore the laptop from hell story, or they tried to debunk a story, which ultimately turned out to be true. When it comes to the dirty dossier, nobody tried to debunk that because it was anti-Donald Trump. So, I understood that. I hope everybody else did because I think I made sense. Where was I going with all this? Anyway, I got all the updates on the story. 6:35, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I played this audio bite for you yesterday. Audio, please. I played this audio for you yesterday, and it is audio of James Carville. How did you describe James Carville yesterday, Sam, real quick?
A testicular lump.
So Sam says that James Carville reminds him of a testicular lump. This is James Carville, where he took aim without evidence at Melania Trump.
So I'll turn it back over. I'll just make one point. To me, a key figure in this is Melania. Okay, and I think that's at the bottom of what they don't want to get out, because it was all modeling agencies. Remember, Trump had a modeling agency, then Epstein got into the modeling agency, and Jean-Luc Bernal, the guy in Paris in the model agency, that hung himself. 2 out of the 3 people ended up hanging themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There is, I really believe this, Jack, there is a deep, dark secret somewhere underneath all this.
So you have James Carville without evidence implicating Melania in this whole thing by somehow saying that Melania was involved in Epstein somehow. I think what he's trying to say is that Donald Trump, I think this is what he's trying to say, that Donald Trump met Melania through Jeffrey Epstein in one of these salacious meetups. I guess maybe that's what he's trying to say. However, James Carville may be getting sued by the Trump administration. There's been another media outlet that has had now to retract those very same allegations. And we're going to talk about that and a whole lot more straight ahead. It is 6:21 on Nashville's Morning News. And Joan Jones, she has the news at 6:30. Joan, what's coming up?
Yeah, the suspect in a quadruple murder in West Tennessee has now been named. We've got details on also a big reward for the arrest of that person coming up here at 6:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hey, Joan. I don't know if
Yes.
you've heard, but they're updating that promo.
Yeah, how so?
I think they tough, tenacious, and a TV breaker. Joan Jones.
Yes.
Congratulations whenever you make the promo in that
Yeah.
kind of a way. It's
Yeah.
a big deal.
It's a
around
big
here.
deal. Yeah.
Mhm. Hey, it's 6:22, Nashville's Morning News on WTN. By the way, I should mention the super text line is open, 615-737-9986. Happy back to school day for all you folks in Wilson County. And we had first day of school, I guess, this week it was Coffee County as well. And what was the other county, Joan? Yesterday, it was Coffee County.
And Trousdale.
And Trousdale County. And I don't know when Nashville schools go back to
They
school.
go back to school on Tuesday.
Okay. Do we know about Rutherford County?
Rutherford is Wednesday.
Okay, so it's like a slow roll
Yeah.
with all the kids going back to school. So anyway, back to school time. And for all those parents that have been sleeping in for the summer, welcome back. It is 6:23. The weather in Middle Tennessee, it can get crazy, of course, which is why you need a backup home standby generator from my friends at the Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. Now, you can get a free quote and get peace of mind when you have one of these installed in your home. The Generator Supercenter does feature expert installation, 24-hour monitoring as well. They are not going to they're not going to leave you in the dark, and financing is available. 615-879-1952. When the power's out in your neighborhood, your power is going to be on thanks to that backup home standby generator purchased from my friends at the Generator Supercenter, 615-879-1952, Generator Supercenter of Nashville.com. 627 Nashville's Morning News on WTN. Mark Spain Real Estate. Listen, avoid the stress of listing your home on the market and sell your home fast with an all-cash offer with Mark Spain Real Estate. They are home to the guaranteed offer. Yes, indeed. Dan Mandis here. I always recommend Mark Spain Real Estate to my friends in Nashville because I trust that they are going to sell their homes hassle-free with a strong all-cash offer. As a matter of fact, Mark Spain Real Estate sells more than 38 homes a day. That's actually up. Used to be 36. Now, 38 homes a day, making them the most experienced real estate team in America. You can trust Mark Spain Real Estate to sell your home hassle-free and with the strongest cash offer in the industry. Now, they've been helping homeowners sell their homes for nearly 30 years, and they have served over 72,000 satisfied clients. Mark Spain Real Estate. Call them 855-299-SOLD. Find them online, markspain.com. That is 855-299-SOLD. And it's markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing. .628 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Donald Trump was asked about who his sports hero is, and this is what he said.
Well, a lot of sports heroes. It meant a lot. I was always a person that loved playing sports. I was good at sports. When you were really focused on sports, you thought about nothing else. There was nothing else outside. It kept you. And to an extent, this is one of the reasons I like golf. You get away for a couple of hours. I play quickly and get through it. And for 2 hours, you're not thinking about all of the nonsense and all of the important things, frankly, but it cleans your mind. No, I think sports is so important. I think what this council is doing is going to be very important. And it gives you a little exercise, sometimes a lot of exercise. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. Sports are... you learn about people and you learn about how people compete. Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't mean that if somebody's not a good athlete, a lot of people just are not good athletes, so they can't compete. But you learn about ppeople playing sports and playing sports with and against some. So I've always loved it. It's been very important to me. These people are, inspirations. These are the top people in their individual sports. The council itself, I mean, they have some of the greatest champions, for the most part, the greatest champions in their sport.
Yeah, and that is Donald Trump, and he has put a council together with some of the greatest athletes in the world. And apparently there is I have not heard this yet. Somebody on the Super Text line said, Mandis, did you hear the Harrison Butker line? I have not heard the Harrison Butker line. Have you heard it, Joan?
No.
Okay.
What?
I don't know. We'll find out together. Coming up on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. It's 6:30, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Wall Street is showing some signs of pre-market stress today after President Trump set new tariffs on a number of trading partners that'll take effect starting August 7th. Taiwan will have tariffs set at 20%, Pakistan 19%, several others at 15%. ABC's Alex Stone says the August 7th date is part of what the Trump administration calls a harmonized tariff schedule.
The new announcement coming just hours before President Trump's midnight deadline. The White House announcing this modification furthers a reciprocal tariff rate against nearly 70 countries. Earlier, the president announcing the U.S. and Mexico have an agreement to extend for 90 days a 25% tariff agreement as trade talks between the two countries continue.
Canada tariffs on a smaller basket of goods rose to 35%. Happening today, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee will go into Gaza to inspect food distribution in that war-torn area. Now, there is aid available, but it's not getting to the people. The UN blames Israeli Defense Forces, and the military is blaming the international community.
The U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff going to Gaza to try to get more food in. President Trump calling the situation terrible. He wants Hamas to surrender, but the group saying they won't lay down their weapons.
ABC's Ian Pannell. The suspect has been named now in a quadruple murder in West Tennessee.
Austin Robert Drummond was paroled in 2024 after spending 13 years in prison for robbery. Now the 28-year-old is on the run, the lone suspect in the murders of 4 people aged 15 to 38. A baby related to those 4 was found unhurt but abandoned in a front yard 40 miles from the scene of the killings.
That's ABC's Jim Ryan. There's a $15,000 reward for the tip that leads to the arrest of Austin Drummond. That's the latest news. We've got your traffic and weather ahead. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Thanks, Joan. 6:33, Nashville's Morning News. And let me tell you about my friends at Specialty Coatings. If you have concrete floors that need a little love and they're making your business look bad, Specialty Coatings can help you. Now, they specialize in concrete floor coatings and polished concrete. They've been doing this for 30 years. So when you walk into work today, look at your floor. Is it the proper reflection or representation that you want for your business? If not, you've got to call my friends at Specialty Coatings, 615-591-9491, because if your floors don't look very good, that is a reflection of your business. They've been doing this, Specialty Coatings, for 30 years, making businesses look really good. I mean, listen, you've probably walked on some of their incredible floors, their incredible concrete floor coatings. They've done all the major sports stadiums, the arenas, and the convention centers. Just last year, Specialty Coatings in Nashville installed over 1 million square feet of coatings and businesses across Tennessee. Now, those buildings include manufacturing, warehouses, airplane hangars, retail, and a lot more. Specialty Coatings is not some fly-by-night company. You know, a couple of guys show up with a bucket and a roller. With Specialty Coatings, they've got the equipment and the skilled installers, so your job is going to be on time and on budget. So no matter how bad your floor might look right now, it's going to look a lot better when you call Specialty Coatings. 615-591-9491. Email them, sales@specialtycoat.com. Online, you can check them out there, specialtycoat.com.
Got a crash on 840, the westbound lanes past Paytonsville, Trinity Road. That's exit 34 and maybe causing some delays in that spot this morning. Looks like you are starting to slow down on 24 now, starting around Laverne and heading in from the north. Yeah, it's slow on 24, the eastbound side, approaching the merge with 65. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
637 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, so the Harrison Butker line. Donald Trump, Presidential Sports Council, Youth and Fitness, whole thing, which I love what he's doing, by the way.
Bringing back the president, what do they call it? The presidential fitness test.
Yes, the presidential fitness test. And he is in front of a whole bunch of athletes and everything. And Harrison Butker, if I remember right, he is the Kansas City Chiefs kicker who went viral for some very pro-family speeches that he gives. Yeah, okay, we remember Harrison.
At a Catholic university, no less.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Now, listen to what Trump said about Harrison.
Harrison, where are you, Harrison? He's a handsome guy, by the way. It's usually not my thing, but he is a good-looking sucker.
Good Lord, man. I can't take him anywhere, right? So, but anyway, this is a very good thing. The let me see if I can find it. It's the presidential. Here it is. Restoring health and fitness for America's youth. Now here we are. First day of school for Wilson County, and schools are slowly but surely getting back in. But what the president is doing, it is an executive order revitalizing the President's Council on Sports, Fitness, and Nutrition, and reestablishing the presidential fitness test. So he's trying to get kids, go out and play more sports and so forth. And I think there's a lot of reasons why kids are unhealthy. I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of obese kids out there these days because they're not playing sports. I believe that the number of kids playing sports is down these days. And I think part of that is because there's a lot of parents these days who do not want kids to play football, for example. And I think that there is because of the concussions and all that other stuff. But you also have kids that are just glued to the video games.
Absolutely.
And so kids just aren't going out and playing games like they once did. And so that's why it's good that here we are back in back to school time, because essentially through PE, kids are forced to go out and play sports and run around and do things that, kids are supposed to do. My neighborhood, and I live in a neighborhood, if Halloween is any indication, there's a lot of kids in my neighborhood. Don't see a lot of them out there riding bikes. I mean, admittedly, Riker doesn't go out and he doesn't, ride bikes and stuff like that. He's inside, and he's not necessarily playing video games per se. He's like building things and learning things, all that kind of stuff. So there's just, there's different priorities these days for kids. And it's just, there's a whole new world for kids these days, as opposed to, when I was growing up and Joan, when you were growing up, where we were outside. We were always looking for, sports to play or a bike to ride or, basketball to shoot and all that other kind of stuff. So I love what the president is doing. I mean, I could do a whole hour on just this. I mean,
bring back Kick the Can.
Kick the Can.
Did you ever play that?
No.
Really?
No, in my neyborhood, it was actually Kick the Dan.
I'm so sorry, Dan.
I know. It just... I still wear those scars. I'm totally kidding. Anyway, moving on from there. It is 6:41, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7. WTN. I got to clean up something because I actually did not finish. I did not finish a topic, and then we are going to get into the latest on Russiagate. I played audio from James Carville, basically trying to. I don't really know where James Carville was going with the audio that I played this morning and also yesterday, where it seems like he's trying to implicate Melania somehow in this whole Epstein thing. And so there is now the Daily Beast was talking about the same thing, where there is some sort of a story where they were trying to talk about Melania Trump and some sort of a connection to the whole Epstein thing. Well, the Daily Beast has now had to pull the story alleging Melania Epstein connection after lawyers disputed the framing. The lawyers disputed the framing of the story. They say the Daily Beast has had to pull that article detailing allegations by journalist Michael Wolff that Melania Trump was introduced to her husband, Donald Trump, via a modeling agent connected to Jeffrey Epstein, after a challenge from the First Lady's lawyers. And I told that story yesterday, as a matter of fact, where the story goes, I mean, it's the official story. I don't know if there's any disputing, but Melania was introduced to her modeling agent at the age of 16 when she was in Slovenia. And she was holding up a wall, and a dude comes up to her and says, hey, you ever think about being a model? And, you know, on it goes. So anyway, the Daily Beast, not real surprising because the Daily Beast is one of those Trump-hating publications. And so they've now had to pull that down, and we'll see if there's an actual lawsuit. Okay, Russiagate. Massive news from yesterday as newly declassified information from the Durham report. We find out there is actually evidence now via email that Hillary Clinton herself approved the Russia collusion disinformation campaign against Donald Trump. She was trying to distract from her own email scandal in 2016. And all of this newly declassified information, it does implicate Hillary, Obama. They worked with George Soros and his foundation as well. John Brennan. I mean, this looks really bad for everybody involved. This is what Jonathan Turley says.
Well, there's a lot of people worried in the city tonight. This is the great reveal that John Radcliffe was promising, and there's more to come.
Oh, yeah. Now, don't forget, and as Jonathan Turley said, and I sort of half jokingly said earlier that the walls are closing in on certain people in Washington, D.C., and especially when he said...
Well, there's a lot of people worried in the city tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of people worried in Washington, D.C. Why? Well, I've got that coming up. 6:45, time to check the roads on WTN. All right, very good. 6:45. Cooler today. Pleasant, if you will. Expected high of 84 and possible feels like temperature of 92. Chance of showers with pop-up thunderstorms possible throughout the day as well. Appreciate you listening to Nashville's Morning News. So, the deep state, the swamp, the evidence that came out yesterday, the declassification of this evidence does involve Hillary Clinton, Obama, George Soros, the media. This is from the Durham report, an annex that, for whatever reason, was classified. I think Washington, D.C. was trying to protect itself, but CIA Director John Radcliffe and DNI Tulsi Gabbard, they have now declassified this information. Now, this is quite a tangled web, so I'm just going to sort of summarize it. But these 24 pages here, compiled with memos and emails, hard evidence obtained from the Obama administration, do show that the DNC and George Soros and Hillary and Obama plotted the baseless accusation against Donald Trump of Russian collusion. They made the information up. They manufactured it. They talked about it. How to distract from Hillary Clinton's email scandal from the time as it was going on. So there is some new information here, some not so new. Jonathan Turley does recap what we've learned so far. He was on Fox News.
The important thing about this, Sean, is that it confirms things that we knew, and it gives us things that we did not know. We always knew, not always, but we knew earlier in July 2016, Brennan briefed Obama to say that Hillary Clinton was planning to create a Russian collusion scandal for Trump to distract from her email scandal. He briefed the president on that, and then months later, he played a critical role in overruling CIA analysts and including the Steele dossier.
Yep.
We also know that the Clinton campaign lied to the media, denied they had funded the Steele dossier, and indeed hid that funding as legal expenses by Mark Elias, the general counsel at that time of the Clinton campaign.
Yeah, and the evidence, of course, includes email verification that Hillary approved this whole plot. Hook, line, and sinker. The media played along. Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, and other members of the U.S. intelligence community declassified the Durham Annex at the request of Senator Chuck Grassley. They say, based on the Durham Annex, the Obama FBI failed to adequately review and investigate intelligence reports showing the Clinton campaign may have been ginning up the fake Trump-Russia narrative for Hillary Clinton's political gain, which was ultimately done through the Steele dossier and other means, Chuck Grassley said in a statement. Now, these intelligence reports and related records, whether true or false, were buried for years. History will show that the Obama and Biden administration's law enforcement and intelligence agencies were weaponized against President Trump. And really, also, I will say, weaponized against the American people who voted for Donald Trump. And I want you to think about the years of Donald Trump's first presidency and Hillary Clinton running around saying things like,
there is no denying that the Russians interfered in the election. Right. Whether or not they had willing or unwitting help from the Trump team, they interfered, and they did so to help him and hurt me. And they did so to destabilize our democracy, and they have not stopped.
I mean, listen to the blatant lies. When you listen to that, that was on The View. When you listen to the old audio, when you watch the old clips of Hillary and Clapper and Comey and all of these people that for years talked about how Donald Trump colluded with the Russians and all of that stuff, they were the ones behind it. Greg Jarrett was on Fox last night as well. He's written books and done a mountain of interviews on this fake Russian collusion hoax and how it does implicate Obama and Hillary.
And today's documents further implicate Barack Obama as deeply embedded in the hoax, pressuring Comey to clear Hillary Clinton of her email crimes, then joining the scheme to push the phony collusion narrative that Clinton instigated, and then, of course, engineering the fabricated FBI case against Trump. You know, Obama could have stopped it. He could have told the truth. He didn't want to do that. So it's a stunning window into how Obama's CIA and FBI were run by corrupt actors like Comey, Brennan, and Clapper, key players in the conspiracy, and they all plotted and connived to sabotage Trump, along with Democrat Party officials, we learned today.
Absolutely. You're talking about, again, not to belabor the point, but you've got the DNC. And here's the crazy thing. I want you to think about this.
It's awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Yeah, because you'd be in jail.
Absolutely. What a great moment. And everybody, of course, remembers that moment. And frankly, she should be in jail. The walls are closing in. But here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing is that if you remember what we reported to you earlier, where the DNC knew that Hillary had all of those physical issues. Remember that when I told you that Russia had all of this compromising information on Hillary? And so they wanted her to win, and they'd hacked into the DNC, and the DNC, all the people in the DNC are talking about how Hillary is manic, she's on tranquilizers and all of this. Despite all of that, oh my gosh, think about this. The DNC knew that Hillary was not fit to be president of the United States, yet they were trying to cheat her way into the Oval Office by trying to say that Donald Trump colluded with the Russians. Just like they lied about Joe Biden, that he was fit for office. I don't know about you, friends, but I'm noticing a pattern.
And all of this required this all-on-deck effort, the government, the campaign, the media. That's why when you see the reaction of the media today, it's clear that no matter what is produced, you can show a dozen heads in a duffel bag, and they're still not impressed. And the reason is that for most of the media, this is not coverage. It would be a confession. That is, if they actually cover this story, they are confessing their own role in what may be the greatest political hit job in history.
And I've got an example of that coming up, Joan. I don't know if you saw how the Washington Post is framing this whole story, but right before the news, we'll talk about that. And Joan Jones has the news tease Coming up at 7 o'clock, what do we got?
Dan, the police identifying a suspect now in the murders of 4 people in Western Tennessee, and they've also got a big reward for it, too, for information leading to that person's arrest. Also, a newborn baby who's 30 years old. Yeah, we'll explain that coming up here, too, at 7 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Joan. And it is 6:53. Dan Mandis here. And it is, listen, even though it's going to be a bit of a cooler weekend, it is still swimming pool time. And so if you're trying to fit into that bathing suit and you're having a hard time, my friends at Contours, they can help you. Right now, their summertime special is still going on because I don't think for a moment that really hot pool weather is gone. We got another probably at least month and a half. So if you need help or if you want to just, be healthier and lose some weight, my friends at Contours, they can help you with their Belly Buster special right now, $99. If you call this number at 615-236-9960, first 10 callers get that $99 special from Contours, the Belly Buster special. Now, most folks lose 2 inches across the middle. It is red light technology. It is cutting edge technology that is not only incredibly unique, but also effective. Now, Contours has been effective in helping people slide into those bathing suits. They can help you as well. Call this phone number right now and get that $99 special, 615-236-9960, 615-236-9960. Be sure and mention Dan Mandis when you make that phone call. You've got to call right now, $99, 615-236-9960. Find out how all of this works. Go to their website. It is contoursllc.com. $6:56, Nashville's Morning News on WTN. Dan Mann is here talking about the Glock store. Now, today, most guns come what they call optic ready right out of the box. Glock calls it MOS for modular optic system, but whatever. What if you bought your Glock before optics were the big thing? Does that mean that you're left out or you need to buy a new Glock? No, of course not. Lenny McGill always has your back when it comes to all things Glock. Now, out of their 16 CNC machines, 3 of those machines are dedicated to cutting Glock slides to precisely fit the red or green dot optic of your choice. I've got a red one. And they'll do it in 10 days or less. And because you could just go to the store and drop it off, sometimes it is a lot less. Now, unlike the optic-ready Glocks, which, of course, rely on adapter plates to fit a variety of optics, your optic is going to sit lower, be more secure, and be more accurate. The Glock store has cut over 20,000 customer slides, and every one of them has been perfect. They're good that way. And by the way, if you've never shot a Glock with an optic, remember, only $6.99 gets you a 10-round sample of ammo, and you can shoot whatever gun you want to shoot at the Glock store. That is the Glock store, minutes from the airport and worth the drive from anywhere. Find them online, shoot270 and glockstore.com. .658, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk. I got a love note from Joe. You know what Joe says?
What Joe say?
Dan, for the love of all that is holy, stop playing Hillary audio. Jim, I remember right here on WTN, we actually I was on in the midday, and when the election was over, I had a celebratory last Hillary Clinton audio bite after Donald Trump won. And it was like I was so excited to not have to play any more Hillary audio. And here we are in 2025, same seat, same Hillary, and actually sometimes same audio. By the way, we're talking about, of course, Russiagate and all this, and I just laid out the evidence that is out there. Well, you of course, and I know that this is not shocking to anyone, but the Washington Post is running for cover. They say the report contains no proof that, as Trump officials and allies have alleged in recent weeks, Clinton and U.S. officials close to President Barack Obama schemed to concoct erroneous Trump leaks to Moscow, sullying his 2016 election victory and the first term. Where in the world did they get that? There is an abundance of evidence.
Well, if you closed your eyes and held your ears and said la, 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 you wouldn't.
Head in the sand.
Yep. You wouldn't know it was there either.
I just love how it was the one email she couldn't delete. Got her caught.
That's exactly right. So anyway, we'll continue to cover this and a whole lot more straight ahead. It is Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning. It is 7 o'clock, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. A much cooler start to our day here, and we've got more on that coming up here with Stefano DiPietro right after the news. Stick around for that. The White House is hailing what it calls a new system of trade after the president finalized tariffs on nearly 70 countries.
Higher tariffs on many countries were set to take effect today, but have been delayed until next Thursday to give customs officers time to prepare. One country's new tariff rate will begin today, Canada's. The president raising that country's tariff from 25% to 35%, although it will affect only a small percentage of Canadian products.
That's ABC's Nicole D'Antonio. President Trump said yesterday that the cross-border flow of fentanyl from Canada has not yet stopped. Police have identified a suspect in the quadruple murder and the abandonment of a baby found in a front yard during an extreme heat warning in western Tennessee. Residents in Dyer and Lake counties are on edge.
To know that murderers come down through here, I mean, yeah, it's scary. Who could have done that? Who could have left a baby at it? So, with strangers outside in this heat, I mean, who would do that?
Police are looking for 28-year-old Austin Drummond. He's white, 5'10", 190 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. Now, he's believed to be driving a damaged 2016 Audi A3 with Tennessee tags R01896. And if you see him or his vehicle, you're told to call 911. There is a $15,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. The four dead are the parents, the grandmother, and the uncle of that 7-month-old baby who was abandoned. Police haven't said so far how these people were killed. An update on the convicted killer scheduled to be put to death next week. Channel 4's Alexandria Adams on the death row inmate Byron Black.
His attorneys now asking for his heart implant to be turned off. They are concerned that it could restart his heart during that execution, leading to a long and painful death. But the state Supreme Court says requiring that device to be turned off would interfere with that execution.
Activists are asking Governor Bill Lee to commute Black's sentence. Black was convicted of the gruesome murders of his girlfriend and her 2 young daughters in South Nashville in 1988. A newborn baby from Ohio has been around for decades. He was born from an embryo that was frozen more than 30 years ago.
Thaddeus was born in Ohio to his adoptive parents, Tim and Lindsay Pierce. The new mom telling MIT Technology Review, "We are in awe that we have this precious baby." Thaddeus was conceived in a lab in 1994 by Linda Archer, who's now 62 years old. She and her then husband used IVF, a fairly new technology at the time, to eventually have their now 30-year-old daughter. But they froze 3 other unused embryos.
Now, these embryos are given to the couples through a Christian adoption agency, and the donors get to choose who raises the children. Market Numbers Report brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com. Stocks under pressure this morning. The Dow futures are minus 397 right now. The NASDAQ futures down 246. And the S&P futures, they're down 60. We've got the jobs report coming up here in just about a half hour. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News. Okay, it's a crash in Midtown, 14th Avenue North at make that Hines Street. That's eastbound side. Make that eastbound 40. Sorry about that. Midtown, 14th Avenue North at Hines Street. Paytonsville, an accident at I-840. The westbound lanes at Paytonsville Trinity Road, exit 34. Normal volume delays on 65 and 24 coming in from the north. 24 westbound stacks up now starting in the Smyrna area, and it gets pretty slow as you make your way into Laverne. Traffic every 10 minutes, every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
7:07 Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. And welcome on into a Friday, first day of school in Wilson County.
Woohoo!
That's exactly right, Joan.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Well, for parents.
Yeah.
Do you remember the
Sorry,
first day
kids.
of school when you were a kid? Like I think all of us adults can remember that first day of school. And in my case, Riker is getting ready to right about now. As a matter of fact, they may be actually in the car. He is on his way to first day of 6th grade in a new building and the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there's always this excitement. And so the other day when we went to open house, man, he was running all over the place. He was really excited about the first day of school. And I said to Amy, I give that excitement about an hour. And then we'll see. Because that's how it was with me, right?
What grade is he going into?
6th.
Okay. Is it a new building because he's entering a different?
Yeah, it's a new, I mean, it's not a new school, but it's a
Right.
new school to him.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah. So everybody's all excited. It's got the bigger school. And, as we discussed briefly earlier, it also means homework is returning, all that kind of stuff too. So, it's just, it's exciting, but it's also like, oh, crap. How much homework do you have tonight? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what's so great at my house? I go to bed at like 4:30. And homework, starts at 5. I don't know. I try to, I can't. By the way, racist graffiti has now been found at Nissan Stadium.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen any pictures of the alleged noose. And now they're saying racist graffiti was found at the construction site of the new Nissan Stadium on Thursday morning. The Tennessee Builders Alliance. So apparently all of that, don't be racist stuff that they forced on all of the employees.
Yeah.
It didn't take hold.
Apparently not. I envision this as, some construction guys that are like, yeah, they want to see a noose. How about some graffiti?
That's exactly right. I think they're just trolling.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep. Not all construction guys have a New York accent, but.
Certainly not.
Definitely not down here.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's how I picture it. And it's funny because I've scoured several news sites. And what I'm seeing is that racist graffiti was found. And then they put the TBA, the Tennessee Builders Alliance, they put their statement in. And that's the end of it. Nobody is trying to analyze it.
Right.
Nobody's trying. By the way, there's no big fat $200,000 reward for this one.
I was going to say, what happened to the $250,000 award that they had for the person who put up the alleged noose?
Also, a bunch of people on the super text line were making note of the fact that 4 people were killed in Western Tennessee, and the reward money is $15,000. But a noose at Nissan Stadium that garnered $250,000. Yeah.
Wow. Well, the Tennessee Builders Alliance says the area is secured, and they've launched an internal investigation. So what did they do to secure the area? Like, did they stop working for a day again? No details regarding what the graffiti said or depicted were given in their statement.
Which is very weird again. It's very weird.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? I don't know. Officials say they have narrowed the time frame in which the incident occurred. They are working to identify. What was it? I don't know. Officials say they have narrowed the time frame in which the incident occurred. They are working to identify the persons of interest. So there you go.
If somebody writes Blue Lives Matter, some will say that's racist.
Yeah, they will. Oh, we've been through all that, Joan. You're absolutely right.
The race, they can frame it as a racist remark or a race, and it's not.
Well, they won't tell us exactly what it is or, put up some sort of a photograph of it. So, I guess whatever. It seems like there's a lot of hysteria going on and they make, okay, can I ask this question? if you're not going to tell us what it said and you don't have any suspects, why are they making these announcements?
Yes.
Like, why do we have to know that there was racist graffiti at the football? Why is this even? Why did they have to write a press release on this?
Remember when every time President Trump would say something, the media would say, President Trump said, ... without evidence.
Oh, it's almost like an ongoing joke now, Joan.
This feels like without evidence.
They're not presenting any evidence, are they?
They certainly are not.
So, and listen, I'm not saying racist graffiti is okay. What I'm saying is you're giving us these stories, but number one, you're not presenting us with any evidence. That's number one. And number two, I don't even know why this is a story.
Right.
I mean, there's racist stuff everywhere. I mean,
I've been looking for like some meat to the story all morning long so I could do it in a newscast, and there's no meat.
Yeah.
And I don't do meatless stories. Know what I'm saying?
That would make it like a vegan story.
Yeah.
That's what it would be.
Don't do vegan either.
That makes two of us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I wonder?
What's that?
Does In-N-Out do Impossible Burgers?
Oh, I hope not.
I'd be willing to bet they don't. You know what, Sam? Can you check that out? As we're all waiting for In-N-Out to open up, do they do Impossible Burgers? I don't know. It is impossible not to like an In-N-Out hamburger.
I think it's impossible that you're going to be the first one to take a bite out of a hamburger at the new In-N-Out.
I won't be. I won't be because I would have to show up like days in advance. Yeah. I guarantee you there's going to be people that are going to be camping out.
They do not, and their veggie burger option is a bun filled with everything but the patty.
Oh, so
you can have a salad with bread.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Listen, to each his own.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. All right, moving on. 7:15, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Kamala Harris was on Colbert last night. We've got some audio there and a whole lot more straight ahead. The Super Text line is open, 615-737-9986. Time to check the roads on WTN. Thank you very much. It's 7:15, and your weather is going to be pleasant. High of 44, a feels-like temperature of 92, 30% chance of showers and pop-up storms as well. And we'll keep you updated on the weather. Full forecast coming up at 7:30 here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. 3560 hate coming in from 3560, Joan. Not In-N-Out talk again.
Oh, man.
No, I'm actually not talking about In-N-Out today. There's official, just so you folks know, there are official segments, and then there's just the other stuff, which is usually where we run off the rails. But no, we're not officially talking about In-N-Out. You know what we are going to talk about? Kamala Harris, because everybody else is talking about Kamala Harris. So I want to play some audio, and we did play this earlier, but a lot of people have joined the program. So this is the first TV interview since she lost to Donald Trump. Now, I'm telling you at the outset, it is clear that Kamala Harris is running for president yet again, and we'll explain that. But she talks about who leads the Democrat Party, because that's what Colbert wanted to know.
Who's leading the Democratic Party? I'm just curious.
You know, she should have said George Clooney. That actually would have been funny if she had said George Clooney, because George Clooney is the one that got Joe Biden booted off of the ticket. Just ask Hunter Biden. Maybe Hunter is the new leader. So Hunter Biden is certainly the most authentic Democrat who is in. Well, he's not really part of the party, and that's probably a good thing for the Democrat Party, because he would watch that thing burn.
Who's leading the Democratic Party? I'm just curious.
There are lots of leaders, and
there's generally a leader of the Democratic Party. You know, like, oh, that's the leader of the Democratic Party. Who comes to mind?
I think there are a lot of, I'm not going to go through names because then I'm going to leave somebody out and then I'm going to hear about it. But let me say this. I think it is a mistake for us who want to figure out how to get out and through this and get out of it, to put it on the shoulders of any one person. It's really on all of our shoulders. It really is.
So I still believe that she can't or won't name who leads the Democrat Party because she'll be running against whoever that person is, unless it's Obama, in 2028. Because I do believe that she is still running for president. Whoever she says, you can say it's Gavin Newsom, you can say it's Cory Booker, you can say it's, I don't know, whoever else is out there. And whoever she says might be her opponent in a Democrat primary. And so if you really think about it, and we've all talked about this, there really isn't anyone leading the Democrat Party unless it is George Soros and Barack Obama. The two people, of course, that we've been talking about now for the last couple of weeks and certainly this morning and yesterday when it comes to evidence that they concocted Russiagate. But is it Chuck Schumer? No, it's not Chuck Schumer. He's an old white guy. We obviously can't have that. We talk about AOC, Cory Booker, Josh Shapiro. Not that I can tell. Pete Buttigieg is somebody that I've been mentioning because he, even though traditionally Buttigieg, he is never really discussed as a leader of the Democrat Party. In some of the polling that's been out there this week, Buttigieg actually leads in the polling. So I think part of what may ultimately happen is the Democrat Party is going to have to choose between Pete Buttigieg, a small-town mayor and failed Secretary of Transportation and a gay man, or Kamala Harris, who is a failed vice president, a failed presidential candidate, and a black woman. So we'll have to see. And the only reason I'm saying any of this is because it's the Democrats who like to play identity politics, right? I mean, I don't care about Pete Buttigieg or what he's doing. Trust me when I say I don't know and I don't care. But it's the Democrats that are always going to bring this up, which is why I bring up the fact that he is gay or that Kamala Harris is black.
Recently, I made the decision that for now, I don't want to go back in the system. I think it's broken. And I always believed that as fragile as our democracy is, our systems would be strong enough to defend our most fundamental principles. And I think right now that they're not as strong as they need to be. And I just don't want to, for now, I don't want to go back in the system. I want to travel the country. I want to listen to people. I want to talk with people. And I don't want it to be transactional where I'm asking for their vote.
So I want to make sure everybody heard that one part.
I want to travel the country. I want to listen to people. I want to talk with people.
So she is going to not run for office because she feels like the system is broken and she doesn't want to go back into the system. But
I want to travel the country. I want to listen to people. I want to talk with people.
So I'm just saying, when she says that she's going to travel the country and talk to people, but she's not running for president. Gotcha. As we talked about before in the 5 o'clock hour. Really? So what you're saying is you are going to go to Des Moines, Iowa, and just talk to people, but you're not running for president. Got it. Anybody else almost insulted by the assertion that she says, oh, I'm not going to run for president. I'm just going to, wait, what was it?
I want to travel the country.
You can travel the country. You're going to travel the country, and you want to what?
Listen to people. I want to talk with people.
You want to listen to people and talk to people. Why? If you're not running for office, who gives two rips about you or having a conversation with you if you're not running for office? Colbert commented, this was on Stephen Colbert's show, and he commented on the system being broken. I'll play that for you coming up. Super text line is open, 615-737-9986. By the way, watch us on YouTube if you would. We are on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, 997WTN.com. And I'm sure that I missed one if I said Facebook, whatever. So we're all over the place. And we do the Daily Dan poll every day. And today's poll, Sam, this is your big moment. How did we frame today's poll, and what are the results thus far?
So because we have a character limit on YouTube, who should the Dems nominate for president in 2028? Parentheses, who'd be easiest to beat?
Yes.
Overwhelmingly, people want Kamala to run again at 60%.
60%. So we had Kamala Harris, we had Pete Buttigieg, we had Josh Shapiro, And who else did we have?
Newsom.
Newsom. Okay, so Kamala got 60%.
Then Mayor Pete there's at 18, Josh Shapiro at 11, and Newsom at 10.
Okay, there you go. See, do you know who I fear in all that? Joan, do you have an opinion? Who do you fear of those four?
I think Josh Shapiro.
You fear Josh. See, I don't because he's a Jew. He's Jewish. And there's a reason why Kamala Harris chose Tim Walz to be her running mate. It is because I believe a couple of things. Number one, Josh Shapiro is Jewish, and possibly number two, as I said at the time, he may have said, "I want nothing to do with this crap show. I've got my own political aspirations. I want nothing to do with the crap show of Kamala Harris basically being installed as the party politically assassinated Joe Biden." I believe that one of those two things happened. I will tell you who I fear coming up. It is 7:22 on Nashville's Morning News. Joan, what is coming up in your newscast today? 7:30, actually.
At 7:30. Which one do you want to know, Dan?
You know what? I know how in advance you write.
Yes.
You could tell us 7:30, 8, 8:30, 9, 9:30, and 10. I'm totally
Probably.
kidding. Joan doesn't do that. Anyway, what's coming up at 7:30?
So, which school system is back to class today? And proof that the relationship between Donald Trump and Elon Musk may not be so chilly after all. That and more coming up here at 7:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Dan Mandis here, 724. I want to tell you about my friends at Window Nation. Now, this summer, of course, and you know, definitely the last couple of days, your AC has been working overtime to keep your house cool and comfortable. Now, here's the deal. If you need new windows, Window Nation can help you. They've got great windows. These are energy-saving windows as well, so they can help keep your electricity bill down. Window Nation put 4 windows in my home, and I really, really like Window Nation. They measure 3 times to ensure that your windows fit perfectly in your home, and they can keep your home comfortable year-round. Their installation crews, they finish the job in only 1 day or less, so you can enjoy the rest of the summer with minimal disruption. Check out my friends at Window Nation. Energy-saving windows. These are really terrific. And by the way, they've also got a terrific deal going on right now for the month of August. You get 50% off all window styles plus 0 money down, make 0 payments, and pay 0 interest for 2 years. So you pay nothing until 2027. They've got an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau and definitely an A-plus from the Mandis House. 866-90-NATION is the phone number, 866-90-NATION. Find them online anytime, windownation.com. Dan Mendes here. Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Yes, indeed, it's back to school time. And Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling is bringing the buzz with big savings and sweet giveaways. Now, if you've got septic issues, now is the time to act. Get 15% off any septic work, main drain lines, or whole home repipes just in time for the new school year. You can upgrade your HVAC system and get entered to win our Healthy Hive giveaway, a $1,500 sponsorship to the local school of your choice. And forget the red apple. Give your favorite teacher something better. Join the Beehive Club and gift a free membership to a local teacher, a coach, or a faculty member at a local school in our service area. You buy one, gift one. It is that simple to the Beehive Club. Plus, breathe easier with $100 off indoor air quality products and enjoy $250 off water filtration systems for your home. So call my friends at Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, 615-775-7833. Find them online, busybeehvac.com, to schedule a free estimate. Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, 615-775-7833, busybeehvac.com.
Good morning. It's now 7:30, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. Metro police have arrested 2 people in connection to the shooting death of a man on I-40 in Hermitage. Tyquan Jackson was killed Saturday night as he pursued a car filled with people that he believed had just broken into his car. Charged are 34-year-old Hannah Craig and 20-year-old Jonathan Brewington. Summer vacation is officially over. Wilson County returning to class today for the new school year. Police there stepping up patrols to keep students and staff safe. WSMV4's Brendan Tierney.
Mount Juliet police are launching a school safety blitz, patrolling roads around schools. They say it's important to make sure people aren't passing school buses and are listening to crossing guard.
It's very fluid. You know, everybody's trying to get into a new routine. Sometimes there's new parents, sometimes there's new kids to schools. Sometimes there's new people taking new routes to work just because of the school. The biggest thing that we're looking for is to make sure people are abiding the rules of the road as far as, you know, maintaining that slower speed limit, making sure they're not texting and driving.
Justin says patience is key, and you should leave extra time to get out the door on Friday as people get used to the school traffic.
Williamson County schools start back on Monday. Davidson County, Metro Nashville, they head back on Tuesday. And then Rutherford County begins on Wednesday. Elon Musk has made a pair of $5 million donations to a couple of Republican super PACs, making him the largest individual donor to both groups in the first 6 months of 2025. So who does that benefit? Well, President Trump, for one, his super PAC raked in over $200 million so far this year. And CNN says that is a war chest that's unrivaled for a president who is term limited. Stock futures this morning show things are weak. Dow futures are minus 391, NASDAQ futures minus 251, and we've got the S&P futures down 60. The U.S. Job growth numbers just out this morning. It slows to 73,000 in July. That was less than expected, so you can expect these futures will continue to go down this morning. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WT.
Yeah, right there, right, Joan?
Wrong out cue, Dan.
What were you going to do?
Yeah, I was going to do.
Were you going to go back to Washington, D.C.?
So perhaps. No.
Oh, okay.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
Thank you, Joan. There you go. Get it right next time, Jones.
Do my best.
I'm just kidding. All right, very good. Thank you, Joan. It's all right. You know how many times I've given the wrong call letters on this station?
Oh, have you really?
Oh, my goodness
Like,
gracious.
like radio stations that you used to work for?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like 20, how do it, for me, the Mind was the first to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I've given 1190 Whoa Whoa, which goes back, I mean, many, many years for
Wow.
whatever reason. And something just kicks in. And I've done KOA as well and WB, whatever. So I've just,
So I feel better. Thank you.
All right, very good. It's 734. United Structural Systems. Now, listen, I've been telling for years about USS. They are experts in waterproofing, concrete leveling, and foundation repair. This is a great company. They've helped me several times with my home. That is why I do proudly endorse United Structural Systems. Now, I'm one of 30,000 satisfied customers. Listen to this recent review on Google. Guy says at USS, they were highly professional. The crew was phenomenal from start to finish. They treated his home as if they are working on their own home. And he does give United Structural Systems 5 stars all the way. They're not going to charge you for any unnecessary repairs. They're not going to pay you a dime until the work is done, and you are a satisfied customer. Actually, you won't pay a dime until the work is done and you're a satisfied customer. So call them, tell them Dan told you to reach out, 615-488-7855. They can help you with basement and crawl space waterproofing, basement wall stabilization, foundation repair, among many, many other things. We guarantee our best. Call USS 615-488-7855, USSTN.com.
Okay, there's a crash in Clarksville today. It's on 24, the westbound side past Rossview Road, exit 8. Got to watch for traffic around that this morning. Otherwise, coming in on all the major roadways, looks like it's just normal volume delays. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good morning to your friends. I don't know if you've seen this, Joan. Donald Trump posting on True Social.
Yeah, I was watching his True Social this morning.
Jerome, have you reported this? Jerome Too Late Powell, a stubborn moron, must substantially lower interest rates now, he goes into capital letters. If he continues to refuse, the board should assume control and do what everyone knows has to be done. Isn't it interesting with Donald Trump, where he was just with Too Late Powell a few days ago as they were touring that construction site, and the president was, very nice, kind of chided, prodded him a little bit. But, I mean, he starts thumbing away or whatever it is on True Social, calling him a moron and basically saying that the board should assume control. Remember, we talking about lowering interest rates. We did speak to E.J. Antoni yesterday, and you've seen him on Fox News and CNBC and some other places. And he said the only reason that Jerome Powell is not lowering those interest rates so that it'll help the American people is because of politics, and that it would help Donald Trump because we would have more money in our pockets. Now, there's probably a lot here that, and I don't want to get into all of the, nitty-gritty details, but it does seem like Powell should be at this point lowering those interest rates. But, the president's saying, what, the board should assume control. He's basically saying that it should be a coup and they should take Jerome Powell out of office.
Well, there are 6 governors that are sitting on this board, and the whether or not it lower interest rates depends on how those 6 governors vote. Now, there was one governor that they were expecting that would side with President Trump and say, yeah, it's time. But it was actually 2 governors that voted in favor of lowering interest rates this time.
And isn't that like one of the first times that's happened in a long time?
Yes. So there's tons of pressure, and Powell's just not giving in. Maybe it was that big pat on the back that President Trump gave him when they were at the construction site. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. What happened?
You didn't?
No.
At the end, as they're walking away, President Trump reached over and just, it should have just been a pat on the back, but he hit him hard, and Jerome Powell kind of stumbled forward.
Are you
because
serious?
of it. Oh, yeah, you got to look that up.
How did I not see this?
I don't know. It's pretty funny. Did you see it, Sam?
I saw it, and it reminded me of the time he touched the Saudi prince that no one's supposed to touch.
Right.
It's a power move. It's I'm in control, buddy.
Yes.
Well, I mean, honestly, Trump should have he patted him on the back hard.
Yes.
He should have hit him in the head to knock some sense into him.
Yeah.
Jerome Powell there. So I don't know. I don't know if the board has the authority to to knock Jerome Powell out of his position. I don't know how all of that works with the Fed, but that's going to be interesting. So we'll see if he does at some point. By the way, have those job numbers come out yet? I see CNN hasn't even gone down that road
they haven't?
yet.
So,
No.
yeah, the jobs report was a little on the weak side. The U.S. added 73,000 jobs in July.
Okay.
That was less than expected.
Mhm.
Hiring slowed down in part because there are fewer federal jobs available. And that is a good thing.
That is a good thing.
So, yeah there's
No more bureaucrats.
Right. A lot's going to be made of this.
Well, yeah, because the top line is
Yes.
Oh, hiring is slowing down. Oh, yeah, but it's the bureaucrats in Washington D.C.
So the month before, the U.S. added 147,000 jobs. We added 73,000 in July. So that is a big difference.
Yeah.
The expectation was 130,000.
Mm-hmm.
So it was far less than expected. And the unemployment rate ticked up to 4.2%.
Okay.
But still at historic lows.
Is that a net gain considering the people that have been laid off from their federal positions?
Good question.
We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out. By the way, Sam is trying to cull through some audio because I know, stop me when you've heard this before, Justin Jones has said something asinine. So we'll do that here in a little bit. And, let's play what stupid thing has Justin Jones said again? You could have like 3 or 4 different stupid Justin Jones comments and like have people pick which one is real and which one is fake, they'd all be real because he says the most asinine things. So we've got yet another asinine moment with Justin Jones. It's like we've got our own version of, I don't know what you would call it, but you've got Justin Jones, you've got Afton Bain, you've got Heidi Campbell, and they just say the most gosh-awful things. Justin Pearson is another one. So, yeah, we've got that audio
The Tennessee
coming up.
Squad.
The Tennessee, yeah, that's it. We've got our own version of the Tennessee Squad. So we've got that coming up. I do want to finish this conversation on Kamala Harris. This is big news today where she says that she is taking a step back. She's not going to run for the governorship of California. And she basically says that she wants to travel the country talking to people. And need some audio if I could. Kamala Harris, she wants to say she wants to travel the country talking to people.
I want to travel the country. I want to listen to people. I want to talk with people.
And so my point is you don't travel the country without running for president. I mean, obviously. But one of the things that Colbert said was that he was shocked to hear that Kamala Harris said that the system is broken.
To hear you say that it's broken, to hear you say that our systems aren't strong enough is harrowing.
Do you think, friends, do you think that our system is actually broken right now? I mean, hit me up on the super text line because clearly our system is not broken. You'll hear Kamala's comment coming up. It is 7:45. Time to check the roads on WTN. All right, as far as your weather for today, it's going to be a nice day, expected high of 84. Feels like temperature of 92, 30% chance of showers, pop-up thunderstorms as well throughout the day. Appreciate you listening to Nashville's Morning News. Is the system broken? Kamala Harris seems to think so. She actually never says what the system is, by the way. And so that kind of left me wondering, okay, what system is broken? Is it the system where we choose a president of the United States? Is it the system that threw Joe Biden right under the bus and put you as the candidate for the Democrats without even so much as a primary or debate or a question? I mean, what system are you talking about?
Well, but it's also evident, isn't it?
No,
and it is.
It is harrowing. I mean,
and it is.
I mean, there's almost no curse word bad enough.
But it doesn't mean we give up. That's not my point.
Okay, because that's what I'm hearing. Like you don't want to be part of the fight anymore.
No, oh, absolutely not. I am always going to be part of the fight.
Okay,
that is not going to change.
Oh, yippee! Kamala Harris is always going to be part of the fight. So I want to make sure we're all clear, though. So Kamala Harris loses an election, and the system is broken. And she does sound a little defeated, maybe a lot defeated, but she does sound, at least to me, like she's giving up, but I don't believe that she is because she's going to be traveling the country, listening and talking to people. Got it. By the way, she talks about, again, the system being broken. She never really defines what that is, but if she's talking about Donald Trump, things are going well. You got the financial successes, you've got the tariffs, you've got the markets that have been up, although they're down today. But we have all of this money coming in from tariffs. We've got deals that have been set now with Japan, the EU, South Korea, China coming soon. Inflation is low. Military recruitment is high. Trump is ending wars. He's working on ending the wars. NATO is stronger than ever. Illegal immigration is at a record low. All of these things still remain part of the Trump administration. So I don't really understand what exactly it is when she says that the system is broken. It seems like she is the one that is broken. And by the way, under she and Joe Biden, it was exactly the opposite of everything that is happening now. Now, the polling, and we talked about this earlier too, the polling, yesterday we shared this with you, that when they started talking about who the Democrats wanted to run as president of the United States for their ticket, Pete Buttigieg was at 16%. She was at 13%, and there were others behind her as well. But I want you to think about this, because you had Kamala Harris as vice president. She was a senator, high-profile attorney general, and she was on the road and on stage for 107 days running as the presidential candidate for the Democrats. And she comes in at 13%, 3 points behind a small-town mayor, Pete Buttigieg, who came in again at 16%. And so one of the things that Juan Williams said is that what Kamala Harris is doing right now is she's reading the internal polling.
I think that might be where we're going here. I think, though, she got a little bit of a shock when she looked at some of those internal polling numbers and saw that, despite having run for president, there was no overwhelming support for her in running for the governor's office in California. And going forward, I must say, you don't hear a lot of people on the ground saying, oh, yeah, we want her to come right back.
And I think also, and I've mentioned all of this earlier in the 5 o'clock hour, audience is turned over, though, but one of the things that she's going to have to contend with is that Joe Biden's cognitive decline and that big cover-up and the auto pen cover-up continues. So she was, of course, in the blast zone where she was supposedly having lunch with Biden, every week. And so the question is going to be asked, were you lying when you said that Joe Biden was sharp as a tack, or were you just clueless? And which one is worse? And I don't know which one is worse, but one of those does apply to Kamala Harris. Meantime, Pete Buttigieg, he is out there. He is, frankly, on the unofficial campaign trail.
So Trump says, we're going to release the files, we're going to release the files, we're going to release the files. Then he says, we're not going to release the files. And people are mad, including MAGA, saying, wait a minute, you said you're going to release this information and you're not. And what does he do? He's like, we're going to arrest Obama. What? That has nothing to do with anything, but it's the distraction machine.
I love how they're laughing. I wonder how much they're going to be laughing once this Russiagate stuff, if it ultimately ends up blowing up. I've been talking about how, the walls are closing in on Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Clapper, Comey, all the players. I covered that extensively earlier in the broadcast. It is very big news that we did get yesterday. So we'll no doubt be continuing to cover this throughout the day here on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, coming up, what did Justin Jones say that was rather idiotic? Sam, give me a one-word descriptor, because Sam has heard it, I have not. Give me a one-word descriptor as to what Justin Jones has said on this podcast.
Uneducated.
Okay, very good. Cannot wait to hear that. It is all straight ahead on Nashville's Morning News, and she is educated, except when it comes to her out cue. Totally kidding. Joan Jones, what's coming up in the news at 8?
Yeah, Dan, there was a deadly shooting really early this morning at a Murfreesboro gas station. We'll tell you what took place there before that shooting started this morning. That's coming up here at 8 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Dan Mendes here for my friends at Stoltzco. Now, listen, this is a great Tennessee company that continues to grow and expand. Now, with Stoltzco, they build those incredible pole barns, and these pole barns can serve as a garage, an event space, an equestrian building, even barn dominiums, pole barns that you can live in. And by the way, at Stoltzco, these days, those barn dominiums, they are new and improved. They're now offering you turnkey options at Stoltzco. That means that they handle the design, the construction, and the amazing finishing touches. You turn the key and you are home with Stoltzco. Right now, by the way, these days they do offer storm shelters as well to keep you and your family safe. Now, your new pole barn from Stoltzco, it can be used for, as I said, anything. So if you've got some land that needs a building for whatever you want, call my friends at Stoltzco, 615-622-5992, 615-622-5992. You can also find examples of their incredible work on their socials, Instagram and Facebook, also at their website, STOLTZCO, Stoltzco.com. 7:56, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. All right, so I don't have time, Joan, to play the entire absurdity of the Justin Jones clip.
Oh.
So we're going to play a teaser cut. We're going to be like a real radio show, and we're going to play a teaser cut. So, Sam, go ahead and play the one little 20-second soundbite of Justin Jones, which, by the way, I have invited him on my show, and he just won't come on, but it's not shocking. The reason why Justin Jones won't come on my show or Matt's show or anybody's show here at WTN is because he would not be allowed to make absurd statements like this.
Yeah, I mean, what we're witnessing in my state is terror. Just like Tennessee is the birthplace of the KKK, where masked men used to come in the dark of night and kidnap our people, and we're seeing masked men in plainclothes with baseball caps going out at night, snatching people out of their vehicles, snatching them off the street, not providing any badge or identification. This is not policing. This is terror.
So that is Justin Jones. And number one is he's not being truthful in all of that. And he's basically saying that ICE is like, stop me when you've heard this before. He's talking about how ICE is the KKK and all of that absolute BS. And so we'll continue to, we'll play maybe a little bit more of that audio coming up because I'm listening to that and it's like, dude is like a one-trick pony. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he has nothing really. And can I also say, Justin Jones, if you hate it so much in Tennessee, because you always hear him talk about how Tennessee is the birthplace of the KKK, right? And he always talks about the racists in the state legislature. I mean, honest to goodness, I'll say this. When I lived in California and I hated California, I had the balls to leave. Why doesn't Justin Jones have the guts to leave Tennessee? If you hate it so much, why don't you find the testicular fortitude to get the hell out?
Man.
Right?
No,
Well,
you're right.
You know what the answer to that is.
Yeah.
I have to stay and fight.
Yeah, he's got to stay and fight.
Just to his point about the KKK, Nathan Bedford Forrest may have founded it, but he also was the first apologist to come forward and apologize.
Oh, we have, trust me when I say, Sam, we have gone over that 1,000 times, and it is a great point. Remember that neither one of you were here at WTN when that whole Nathan Bedford Forrest take his bust out of the Capitol, that whole thing.
And that his speech was what Martin Luther King built his speech on for I Have a Dream.
It is interesting because, and we don't have the time to get into all this now, but the thing about going back to Justin Jones is he has really nothing to say and nothing to offer except for race baiting. That's what it is. By the way, it is also the first day of school in Hickman County.
Oh, Hickman, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
People in Hickman County are getting mad at me because I'm talking about Wilson County.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, man, we're out in Hickman County, and it's our first day of school, too.
I don't have that anywhere, so
Dumbheads.
Smith County was chiming in, too.
Smith County chiming in, too. Official apologies to Hickman County and Smith County as well. First day of school. And they just kind of roll in. So,
yeah.
Anyway, but we do appreciate all of you listening. It is 8 o'clock, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Good morning, 8 o'clock. I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. It is Friday, and we're not frying today. Channel 4's Melanie Layden says the heat wave is finally broken.
We are still going to feel a little bit of humidity today. High temperatures will climb into the low to mid 80s for the most part today. Could feel more like the upper 80s, maybe even close to 90 outside.
And some rain over the weekend, too. More on all of that right after the news. Well, plans to rezone the nations to include affordable housing. Those plans are not sitting well with some residents.
We have so many cars here now that on either side of the street, people park on the street. There's no way, I don't even think an emergency vehicle could get down the street. Can we work together to keep the neighborhood charming, historic, friendly, full of fabulous people, without packing people in.
Residents want to stall that plan, which comes up at the next council meeting on Tuesday. That's where the bill will have a second reading and a public hearing. One person was killed this morning in a shooting at a Murfreesboro gas station. This happened about 5 o'clock in the morning at the 7-Eleven store, the 7-Eleven and Exxon station on Highway 96. News 2's Nikel Smith.
Police have just updated us to say this was an attempted ATM theft that ended with a deadly shooting. So the store is closed to customers, obviously. We have seen our first responders concentrating on that area as well at the store.
Yeah, now reports say several suspects broke out a window and tried to remove the machine, the ATM machine, when that shooting happened. So the investigation is now underway. And First Lady Melania Trump has been evicted from her offices at the White House. That's because there's a construction project about to begin.
President Trump announcing a construction project at the White House.
I always said I was going to do something about the ballroom.
Planning to break ground in September on a new $200 million ballroom.
It'll be a great legacy project.
Renderings of the 90,000 square foot space show crystal chandeliers, marble floors, and gold trim, drawing close comparisons to the ballroom at Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort.
ABC's Nicole D'Antonio, the $200 million price tag on this. Well, it's all coming out of the president's pocket. Market Numbers Report brought to you by Beacon Capital Management online at beaconcm.com. So a Labor Department report on jobs out this morning shows that employers added 73,000 jobs in July. That was less than economists were expecting. Part of the story is government payrolls. They declined by 10,000 in July. There were fewer federal government jobs. The unemployment rate ticked slightly higher. It's now at 4.2%, and that was in line with the economists' expectations. Now, right now, the Dow futures are minus 364. The NASDAQ futures down 270, and the S&P futures are minus 61. That's the latest news. We've got traffic and weather ahead. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News. Got an accident in Clarksville. It's on 24 westbound side past Rossview Road. Watch there. Also, East Nashville got a crash on Dickerson Pike at Ewing Drive. Donaldson, there's another one on Lebanon Pike at McGavick Pike. North Nashville on Briley Parkway westbound at Dickerson Pike, exit 16B. Crews are out there working a crash scene. And just one more. This is on 24 westbound in Antioch at Hickory Hollow Parkway, exit 60. Watch for another accident scene there. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Happy back to school day, Wilson County, Smith County, Hickman County. It's all very exciting. Nashville, Metro Davidson County is next week, right? Didn't you say Tuesday, Joan? Is when Metro Nashville, she gone? She's gone.
No, I'm here. I'm watching NBC's announcement of the ballroom renovations or construction.
Oh, they're very nice, from what I understand.
Very glitzy, very just like President Trump. Lots of dripping gold.
Oh, is it lots of drip? Did you say dripping gold?
It's like the whole room is dripping in gold.
Okay, well, that's very Trumpian.
Absolutely.
Did he name it after himself?
I'm sure he will.
It's the Trump Ballroom.
Hey, listen, he's paying for it. He and donors are paying for the entire cost.
Did he really? Okay, well, good for him.
And Chuck Schumer, although is out there saying, where is he getting this money?
Oh, shut up, Chuck.
I know.
Shut up,
Where'd
Chuck.
you get your money, Chuck?
Good question.
Chuck Schumer makes me up, Chuck. Hey, can we go ahead and play some more of that that audio from Justin Jones? So Justin Jones was on a podcast, and I had a mini little Mandis meltdown because I told him, if you hate Tennessee so much, go back to California. I wonder how he would survive, and I wonder how Justin Jones would survive on the streets of Oakland. Probably not very well, because I think Justin Jones is a wuss. I do. I think he's a wuss. Whatever. But he won't come on to defend the comments that he makes. He is constantly talking about how Tennessee is, where the KKK was founded, and you've got the state legislatures. They're all racist and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, dude, again, not to belabor the point, but if you hate it here, leave. I mean, it's a free country. So let's go and play that audio from Justin Jones on a podcast.
What we're witnessing in my state is terror. Just like Tennessee is the birthplace of the KKK, where masked men used to come in the dark of night and kidnap our people. We're seeing masked men in plainclothes with baseball caps going out at night, snatching people out of their vehicles, snatching them off the street, not providing any badge or identification. This is not policing. This is terror. This is not about public safety. This is about terror and racial profiling. And I heard a little of your intro.
Hold on. Racial profiling? Really? Racial profiling? How does he get that? I mean, they're looking for illegal aliens. That's what they're doing. And so if you're racial profiling, it doesn't even count, because they're looking for illegal aliens. We've got illegal aliens, here from many, 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 many different countries. And you've got Honduras, you've got El Salvador, you've probably got, Lord help us, places like Iran, China. I mean, I could go on and on. So what he is saying doesn't make a lot of sense. But again, it's just pure race baiting by Justin Jones. The embarrassment of Tennessee. Go.
Your intro, and I want you to say that if they're coming for one of us, they're going to come for all of us. ICE has just been given $100 billion.
What does that mean? What does that mean? If they're coming for one of us, they're coming for all of us. Who is he talking about? So is he saying that ICE is going to start deporting black people?
Or full-fledged lawful citizens?
Right. That's the point. It's like he's so platitudinal. Do you know what I mean? He speaks in platitudes. Just pure nonsensical talking points. Go ahead.
Militaries in the entire world. And who do you think that's going to be deployed against? It's going to be deployed not just against immigrants, but also against citizens soon. And we're seeing that people who are even trying to navigate the legal process getting snatched from court proceedings where they're trying to do things the quote unquote right way. And so what we saw in Nashville the first week of May was 196 people detained, predominantly in the part of Nashville where I represent Southeast Nashville, the most diverse part of our district.
You mean the most crime-ridden? I mean, honestly, let's be honest. There's a lot of crime in Justin Jones' district. So a lot of this is just rapid fire nonsense. I don't know. Should I keep playing this, Joan?
I think so. I mean,
yeah, really? Okay. So we'll keep. Well, one guy's mad at me because I'm playing Justin Jones audio. But I mean, listen, this is important. He is a very important, part of the Tennessee state legislature, I suppose. So go ahead then.
Traffic stops, and they just saw people who were brown, and it was a joint operation between the Tennessee Highway Patrol and ICE. And they stopped them. They said, "Oh, your taillight's out. We know what that means. Oh, you have too much tint on your windows. We know what that means." And stopped them.
It means they're violating traffic laws. Isn't that what it means?
100%.
Do you know that I have actually been pulled over for busted taillights?
I have too.
I'm white.
have. Yep.
Thank you. The three of us. Oh, the humanity.
Yep.
And when my registration's been expired, and if I've been speeding, what I don't see, what we should police is people not using their turn signals. People in Nashville, use your blinkers.
All right, keep going.
And stay out of the left lane.
And took them out their cars and gave them the ice. And many of those people, we don't know where they've ended up. If they are in Liberia, if they are in El Salvador, if they are in Florida at this concentration camp that they call alligator Alcatraz, but which I call crocodile concentration camp, because that's what it is. And that's what we're seeing. We're still trying to get answers. But I'm so grateful for you putting names onto these cases, because what the Trump administration wants to do is say that these are all criminals, where the majority of people stopped, at least what we have the data for in my state, had never been charged with a crime, had never even.
So, again, a lot of talking points. First of all, you heard the whole racist concentration camp. Why does nobody call out the anti-Semitism in those statements? It is just so shocking. Isn't it just so shocking?
And crocodiles is inaccurate.
What do you mean? Well, because of alligators?
Exactly.
All right, whatever. No, there's crocodiles in Tennessee. I think they call them American crocodiles. Joan.
American crocodile? No.
Yeah, there's such a thing as American crocodiles.
In Tennessee?
Well, I don't know. Well, no, we're talking about Florida.
Oh.
Yeah. Look it up. There is such a thing as American. We have to do all the work here. American crocodiles. Thank you. All right. So all you people that are getting mad at me because we continue to play the Justin Jones audio, that's on Joan. Because I said it. I wanted to stop it, and she said, keep playing it. Listen, that's on Joan. Joan, have you seen the photograph of that woman from the Cincinnati beatdown?
Yes, I have.
Oh, my Lord.
There's a couple of them. So I saw it on Daily Wire, if anybody wants to check it out there. I don't know where you saw it, but...
I saw it everywhere.
She is, man.
It's awful. It is
her
awful.
face and around her neck. Like, did they try to strangle her?
So one of the things that happened is that I don't know if they tried to strangle her, but we got to describe it. So she has got a huge black eye.
Yes.
Her black eye is so large it looks fake. It looks like it's something out of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Her face is battered. She's got bruises all over the place, and it is horrifying. And so now there's a new story out today. This is the update. There is a new story out today that shows that not one of the networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, has covered this story. There is, I would say, not a story right now that personifies how irrelevant the networks are today than today with them not covering this story. Because you have the police chief. We played, not the police chief. Was it the police chief? I think it was the police chief who was blaming, remember this? She was blaming the media and social media for reporting the story. Remember that whole thing?
Yep.
So she blamed the media and social media for putting this whole thing out of context, which is absolutely insane because there's 2.5, 3-minute videos out there where you see this mob of black people that are beating the living crap out of these two white people. And it is insanity.
And how about the councilwoman's comments?
There's a councilwoman, yesterday we spoke about it. I don't have that particular story in front of me. Sam, can you pull that up?
She said that they begged for it.
Yeah, who was it, though? What was her name? There was a councilwoman that actually said that basically she was glad that this happened, and they were begging for it.
Yes. Is that, and she, like, nobody's talking about.
Victoria Parks.
She needs to be taken away in handcuffs.
Victoria Parks is her name, and she said it on a social media. She was in the comment section of a social media post.
On Facebook, of all places.
On Facebook. There's also, I think Chris played this yesterday, where there's a mom of one of these thugs. You're going to hear this. You're going to hear this, from all of the mothers as to how good these children are. If you haven't heard it, I've got the audio coming up next. It is 8:16. Time to check the roads on WTN. As far as your weather for today, it's going to be a pleasant day. High of 84. Feels like temperature of 92. 30% chance of showers as well. And appreciate you listening to Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So one of the moms of, and this apparently made the interwebs yesterday. One of the moms of these thugs, and this is what it says, who ambushed the innocent people at that Cincinnati Jazz Festival, claims that her son is not a thug because he's got 5 kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me.
He's what? He's like 19. He's very young with 5 kids.
Is he married? I'm just curious. I mean, probably not. Anyway, here we go.
And on the video, he said, "You want to mess with these Russians?" And he smacked the first guy, But it wasn't like they thugs. My child is in school. He had 5 kids. He's on the B honor roll in school. And he's not the thug that they put out in there to be.
Did you see the beatdown, lady?
Yeah,
lady. Did you see it?
He's a good boy.
Spreading that seed, isn't he? 5 kids. Anyway, whatever. You know what? So I think the thing that I like about this story, I realize when I say that, I'm not saying I'm happy that these people got beaten up. It's horrifying. But because it is exposing what the media is still refusing to report. And so now the question is, all right, so how do they regain their credibility? You've got the picture of this poor woman who was just beaten to a pulp by a bunch of young black men, and somehow nobody in the mainstream media wants to cover it. And so I at the very least, I hope that what happens is that people notice what they are choosing to cover and not cover. They're choosing not to cover this story, which is a big, big story, especially on social media. And so why are they not covering? They'll tell you that they don't want to play into the racial stereotypes, right? That's why when crimes are committed, they don't want to put up the mugshots, that whole thing. Isn't it reality that you had all of these people that beat up these other 2 people? I mean, put aside the skin color and all of that, but isn't that news? A multi-person beatdown of 2 innocent people? So whether this plays into any kind of I'm going to air quote here, whether or not this plays into any kind of racial stereotype, it doesn't matter to me. Because this story happened. Whether it plays into any kind of a racial stereotype or not, the story itself is true. Now, we can have a conversation, I suppose, as to whether or not this story does play into a racial stereotype. But bottom line is, this story, standing on its own, is a serious story. And I'm glad that people are talking about it. I'm glad that the networks are covering it or not covering it in a way that exposes their choice not to cover a big story that everybody is talking about, because they're cowards and they're woke. And that's why they're refusing to cover it. It is unbelievable. And by the way, local news in Cincinnati is covering this, but we're talking about the national news, the national networks, ABC and CBS and NBC and so forth. Because, you would think that they would be covering it, but again, they refuse to. You've got a police chief who is blaming the local TV news and social media. That in and of itself is a story. You had that state legislator who said that these people were begging for a beatdown. That is big news as well. And obviously the condition of these 2 people and how they ended up in this condition is also big news that they simply refuse to cover. And it is sad. But you know what? They don't cover these stories at their own peril. It is 8:22 on Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. The Super Text line is open, 615-737-9986, 615-737-WWTN. Joan Jones has the news coming up at 8:30. Joan.
Yeah, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff in Gaza today. He wants to get to the bottom of the food shortage there. Also, in West Tennessee, 4 people murdered and a baby spared. Police have now named a suspect. We've got that and more coming up here at 8:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Dan Mendes here. It is, of course, moving season, a time filled with hours of packing and unpacking and, of course, so much bubble wrap as well. But the first thing you should do when moving into your new house is to make sure that the Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity. It is super quick. It is easy to set up as well. And then, boom, you've got the Wi-Fi. You'll have your new home hooked up with the ultimate Wi-Fi experience faster than the time it takes to parallel park a moving truck. Then you'll be back online with the most reliable Wi-Fi with the best in-class equipment from Xfinity. So you can just kick back, relax, and stream your favorite movies and TV shows while someone else deals with all of those boxes. Because the only thing you'll have to worry about is remembering where you packed the remote. Make the right and easy move with my friends at Xfinity. Learn more at xfinity.com/move. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi claim based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed broadband experience report August 2024. All right, so you two, Joan and Sam,
Yeah,
owe me an apology.
apparently we do.
Yeah, you do.
Hate that.
American crocodiles is a thing. You went to Grok, didn't you, Joan?
No, I didn't. I actually went to, I guess it was the NPS. So yeah.
Sam and Joan said that I was incorrect for talking. Sam actually literally laughed at me. And it turns out I was right. There are such a thing as American crocodiles, and they are in the Florida Everglades. Sam, let's hear it.
I apologize. I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at Justin Jones.
You actually were laughing at me.
Oh.
By the way, 0276, did you see this on the line?
Eat a crocodile.
He says, I'm broadening my vocabulary this week, listening to Nashville's morning news. Asininity, platitudinal, pure nonsensical, and Harry D.
Well,
you're welcome, 0276.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get with Nashville's morning news.
It's important to learn new things.
It is.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, half these things, I'm pretty sure they're not even in the dictionary, but they might someday. So you can just call me ahead of the curve. Is platitudinal an actual word? I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Platitudinal is an actual word?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I know that nonsensical is. I'm not sure about asininity.
It's platitudinal or platitudinous.
Oh, very good. All right. Well, on that note, it is 8:30, and Chris Hand is in the building, and he is getting ready to come in for the crisscross handoff that is all straight ahead on WTN.
Good morning. It is now 8:30, and I'm Joan Jones with your top stories. President Trump announced that the U.S. will raise tariffs on all goods imported from nearly 70 countries. ABC News chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl has the latest.
Products from all countries will now be subject to at least a 10% import tax, while others will face tariffs ranging from 15% to as high as 40%. The president also followed through on his threat to raise tariffs on Canada, one of America's largest trading partners, raising the import tax to 35%, which went into effect this morning. Crucially, though, the Canadian tariffs will not include goods that are covered under the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement.
Happening today, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee, they'll go into Gaza to inspect food distribution in that war-torn area. Now, there is aid available, but it's not getting to the people. The UN blames Israeli Defense Forces, and the Israeli military says it's because of the international community.
The U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff going to Gaza to try to get more food in. President Trump calling the situation terrible. He wants Hamas to surrender, but the group saying they won't lay down their weapons.
ABC's Ian Pannell there. The suspect has been named in a quadruple murder in West Tennessee.
Austin Robert Drummond was paroled in 2024 after spending 13 years in prison for robbery. Now the 28-year-old is on the run, the lone suspect in the murders of 4 people aged 15 to 38. A baby related to those 4 was found unhurt but abandoned in a front yard 40 miles from the scene of the killings.
That's ABC's Jim Ryan. There's a $15,000 reward for the tip that leads to the arrest of Austin Drummond. Market numbers brought to you by Beacon Capital Management, online at beaconcm.com. 73,000 jobs added in July. That was fewer than analysts were expecting. Also, a weird update on previous months being revised sharply lower. So June revised down from 147,000 jobs to 14,000. And in May, it went from 125,000 jobs to 19,000. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrials are down 486 points. NASDAQ falling 263. The S&P down 64. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Joan Jones, WTN News.
8:32, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN Zintex. Now, listen, this is a great company, and you have a great deal waiting for you from my friends at Zintex. Save $999 on your new bath or shower system, or 0% interest for 24 months. Plus, when you mention WTN to your design consultant, you are going to get a free Kohler toilet with purchase. That's right. Now, there's a lot of reasons why you should go with Zintex for your next bath or shower remodel. It's family owned and operated, local business and in business since 2001. I've been telling you, this is a great company. In 2022, they were the winner of the BBB Torch Award for Ethics. An installation is completed in as little as 1 day. Again, my friends at Zintex 2024 also voted one of the best places to work in the construction industry. This is great. Zintex. Find them online, Zintex, Zintex.com, and they can help you with your bath. They can help you with your shower. If you want to make your bath into a walk-in shower, they can do that as well. Now, bathroom remodels, as you know, this is a great way to increase the value of your home. So do it today with my friends at Zintex. Again, Zintex, Zintex.com. .836, Nashville's Morning News on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Time for the crisscross, which means that Chris is here. Hello, Chris.
What's up? How are you?
I am, well, you know, I'm fine. I'm going to be honest.
Be honest with me, Dan.
I'm a little hurt.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
That my coworkers have so little faith in me when I say things, and they just automatically chuckle and think that I'm wrong.
Who does that?
Well, everybody, really.
Is this a Joan thing again?
Well,
Blink,
it is,
blink,
and Sam.
Blink if you're in trouble.
Turn around and I'll blink for you.
So, I talked about American crocodiles.
Okay.
And they doubted that
as opposed to Canadian crocodiles?
No, well, crocodiles are typically in Australia.
Okay.
And so when I said that there are crocodiles in America, these two lunkheads over here started laughing at me.
Did they?
They sure did.
I expected that out of Joan, but young Sam.
I know, right?
It's a little early on in his career here to be laughing at you.
It's exactly right. He'll learn within a few weeks that, yeah, it's okay to laugh at Mantis. Anyway.
He's really starting to fit in.
I was laughing at Justin Jones, I swear.
So then, of course, nicely, people on the super text line said, American alligators are a thing.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Show to the super text line. Crowdsourcing information.
Alligators and crocodiles are different.
They are.
So you just said alligators, Dan. Did you mean crocodiles?
What did I just say?
There went your 2 seconds.
What I say?
You said American alligators.
American crocodiles.
I knew what you were talking about.
Did
I
you
was
know that
picking up what you were putting down.
crocodiles live 50 to 70 years in the wild?
Oh.
That's a long time for an ugly thing to be living.
What do you mean ugly?
Crocodiles?
Well, Joe Biden's still alive.
Joe Biden's still alive. He is.
Come on, man.
Do you know what Murphy and his producer's been doing?
No.
You know how we keep thinking the TV's getting worse?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I heard on their show yesterday?
I heard it too.
What?
They've been poking at it.
Yeah. They've been trying to make it worse.
Are you serious?
They've been making it worse.
Why would they do such a thing?
I don't know.
Because they want to get me in trouble more.
Oh, you're already...
The afternoon show is so anti-Joan. It's alarming.
Mm-hmm.
It's alarming.
I heard they're also giving away yo-yos.
I got mine right here.
So now, what did somebody say on the super text line, Sam?
In the YouTube chat, shout out Matt. He said, well, if Matt Murphy's giving away yo-yos, can I have Dan's stapler?
No, because I can't afford a new one.
It's true.
So, and by the way, they were also saying that asininity and platitudinal, not words, when as a matter of fact, because I use them not all the time, but I use those words, and they're actual words.
I think that those are some of the best words.
Do you know what's so funny?
What we should do is we should hijack all the best words for episode 5 of Mostly Peaceful with Dan and Chris, which debuts tomorrow. And we should bring in better words than Murphy and Cameron can come up with. If they think that those words aren't real, we should prove them wrong.
Well, here's the deal. They do a really good podcast.
They do.
All the best words. We're going to bring in all the bester words.
Oh,
all the more gooder words.
Gooder words for bester people.
That's the bestest thing I've heard all day.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I'm going to put in a request to Murphy Show for your all the best words. Do asininity and platitudinal.
I like it.
I like it too. Let's see if they'll do it.
We'll see.
We had a great conversation yesterday during the podcast about fatherhood.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed that.
I did too. We were talking about cell phones and kids.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new study out that says the younger a kid gets a smartphone, the more chance of a suicide.
Yeah.
Suicide risk goes through the roof.
I mean, not shocking.
And we were talking about it, and I love your angle because you're doing this again now. And it's like parenting has changed so much. So you have such a unique perspective on that a lot of people don't get.
Chris is calling me old.
No, I'm not.
I know.
I'm like, actually,
well, don't give it away because I want people.
I truly think Dan has a very cool take on it.
All right. Well, cool. Then listen to Mostly Peaceful with Dan and Chris. It drops
6 a.m.
6 a.m. on Saturday.
Yeah.
You sound so cool when you talk like that.
I feel kind of cool when I say it.
He's pretty cool.
It drops. That's exactly right.
All right. Would you say that this episode's a banger?
I would say it's a banger. Absolutely.
I
actually, you know what? I'm enjoying them more and more as we go. I'm going to be honest. I didn't like doing the first one.
Do you know what? Not a fan.
Do you know what the game changer was?
What?
When Amy told me stop looking at the camera.
Oh.
Because I kind of assumed that's what we're supposed to do is look at the camera. And Amy said, no, you don't. When it's a podcast, you look at each other. When does Joe Rogan ever look at the camera?
Oh, yeah, he doesn't.
No. So, and we're not comparing ourselves to Joe Rogan. Anyway,
I'll let you know if I ever make it through a 3-hour episode.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right, real quick.
Chris Cuomo. We've been watching the redemption arc of Chris Cuomo in real time, haven't we?
Yes, we sure have.
And yesterday, he's driving in his car, and he puts out a TikTok, and he goes, you know what? I've been wrong about pretty much everything.
All right, here, I want to play this. Chris Cuomo driving.
Stuck in traffic. I'm remembering right now. Wow. I'm wrong a lot.
Yeah.
Wow. We don't like to say it. We don't like to admit it. We really don't like to correct it. But that is how you grow and you get to a better place. And it is such a precious commodity right now. I've been wrong. I've been wrong about political issues. I've been wrong about people. I've been wrong about myself. I've been wrong about my responsibilities. I've been wrong about my opinions, my tastes, my choices. I've been wrong. And that's okay. Hopefully you learn. Hopefully when you're wrong, you get to a better place if you do the work, unless you stubbornly hold on. And that's where so much of us are stuck. It's not just being wrong, it's refusing to learn what's right. I've been wrong. Have you been wrong? If you say no, you're wrong.
So that's Chris Cuomo, and I heard it, and I was like, okay, good.
Do you believe he is sincere, or do you believe that he's trying to make himself relevant again?
I think he's sincere because we've seen the opinions kind of evolving before this video came out.
One of the things that you said, and I don't know if you still say it, but one of the things you said on your first monologue on WTN was you reserve the right to change your mind as facts change or whatever it was.
Once new information becomes available, you need to be able to change your mind.
And I think that's great.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, things are always changing and perspectives always do change. And so I think that's very healthy. There are some people that refuse to admit that they were wrong about whatever it may be. Well, I think it's very healthy to admit that you're wrong.
And I admitted I was wrong a couple weeks back with the Israel-Iran stuff. I didn't see a third option. I thought it was either no intervention or long-term quagmire.
Yeah.
And then Donald Trump said, no, we can just bomb them and then not do anything else. Yep. And I was like, oh,
there you go.
Didn't see that as a possibility. I was wrong.
I'm trying to think of if I've ever been wrong on anything. Joan, you ever been wrong on anything? We can call your husband.
Oh, I've never been wrong. No. What, are you kidding?
But the cool thing about Cuomo is that this wasn't just a one-off TikTok. This carried over into his News Nation show, which has actually turned out to be a decent enough show, but he was taking calls, and he got a lot of calls from Democrats. And one Democrat in particular said, you know, I was wrong about Trump.
All right, let's listen.
I'm not too proud to say that I am wrong about Trump. I'm a proud Democrat,
How so?
And he's done a lot of things. Immigration. I'm happy about what's happening with immigration. I thought the stock market would tank, and I'm pretty happy with my 401k. There's a few things that I just thought things would go wrong, and I'm very happy.
Well, that is big of you to say. It'll probably lose you some friends in this polarized environment that we're in right now. But there's nothing wrong with being happy with results, no matter who gives them to you, right? So I appreciate your candor. Next.
I mean, listen, for this, it's important to point out that, she's going to lose a lot of friends for that. That's going to be an unpopular opinion with Democrats. But it does seem like the majority of Democrats are rooting for the country to fail.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like they're going to cut off their nose to spite their face.
Because they don't want to be wrong.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to be wrong. And obviously that's a problem for that side of the aisle. And when you look at, I don't know if you saw, Joe Biden was speaking yesterday in front of a bunch, I don't know who it was, a bunch of attorneys or something last night.
Yeah. Could you believe that they trotted him out for that?
You know what I said earlier? Earlier I said, can somebody please explain to me why it is that they're bringing Joe Biden out? Why are they rolling Joe Biden out? What, and Kamala Harris on Colbert?
Yeah.
Let's play real quickly this audio of Joe Biden, and this is him last night. And Joan figured out that he actually had a mispronounce on one thing. So.
My friends, we need to face the hard truth of this administration. It has been to ease all the gains we've made.
Ease all the gains that we made.
Should be erased.
It should be erased. He
teleprompters are hard.
He misread the teleprompter. So that's number one. But listen to what he says.
My friends, we need to face the hard truth of this administration.
Huh?
It has been to ease all the gains we've made in my administration.
So what gains are those? Are those the illegal aliens? Is it the inflation rate over 9%? Is it the really terrible foreign policy? What gains did we make from the?
I think the newcomers is top of the list.
I think the newcomers is the top of the list. And so Biden, you know, as Trump continues to have these successes, I think Joe Biden, them trotting him out, I don't understand why he's here. Like,
Give me a break.
What purpose does Joe Biden have to come out and say the things that he's saying, because they are so lacking in self-awareness?
Yeah. I mean, do you think he got paid for that appearance?
That's probably what was going on.
Do you think that they're a little bit strapped for cash now that all the influence peddling has essentially dried up?
Well, they didn't pay him a lot for his book. Remember that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the book, they only offered him, I forget what it was. But
It was like $10 million.
yeah, when they were paying other people like $20 million and 25, which is crazy.
And Kamala Harris, I believe, got $20 million for that 107 Days book.
That's insane.
If I recall correctly.
Is anybody reading? Anyway, whatever. So
no, I think the book game is a huge money laundering scam.
Do tell.
I just don't think who's buying these books?
The same people that are buying Hunter's paintings.
And what are Hunter's paintings?
Crap.
A money laundering scam.
A money laundering scam. You're absolutely right.
All right, here's more from Joe Biden.
To erase history rather than make it. To erase fairness, equality, to erase justice itself. And that's not hyperbole, that's a fact.
No, well, listen, I do agree with that. Trump is erasing history. Like, Joe Biden made history with a wide open southern border. Trump's erasing that. Joe Biden made history with one of the worst economic crises in American history. Trump's erasing that. Joe Biden made history with COVID vaccine mandates, kicking military members out.
Boy, he sure did, didn't he?
Trump is erasing that. I think, that part's actually true.
Hey, inquiring minds want to know, because we've all been praying for Virginia.
Yes.
You asked for...
We had a prayer request.
Yeah, prayer request.
Okay, so the ride went decent enough, and they stopped in Knoxville. They hit a playground, and then they went to Pals. Shout out to Sam. You don't know about Pals, do you? Oh, you need it. It's on the Tennessee-Virginia line. It's awesome.
It might change your in and out opinion.
It's one of the best chili dogs you can ever get. Anyway, I digress. But then they're going back to Virginia after that, and then 81 got shut down.
Oh, no.
Highways closed, and she's in Roanoke, Virginia.
Oh.
And she doesn't know how the heck to get where she's going, and she's in an area with no service.
Oh, no.
So she calls me a little bit panicked. She's like, I don't want to stay in Roanoke. I was like, nobody does.
And then it's like, Mommy, I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, all
Right.
that stuff.
Of course.
Here's a bottle. And then you go, especially if it's the boys, you know what to do. So then, essentially, I was her eyes in the sky, and I was like, all right, let me see where you're at. Share me a pin. And I'm like looking up alternate routes. And so we got her there. It was about, she made pretty good time. She left here at about 8 a.m. and she was in Virginia at the location at about 8 p.m. our time.
Now, is it true that this was just a big vanity trip because she wanted to go to a state that had her name?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. She gets that all the time. She's like, yep, Virginia from Virginia. Mom and Dad weren't creative.
Joan thought that was funny. Was she born in Virginia?
Yeah.
Okay, she was born in Virginia.
Yep. Virginia from Virginia.
Okay, good thing she wasn't born in like Kentucky.
I know. Wouldn't that'd be tough?
Arkansas.
Or Illinois.
Illinois. What's your name, Illinois? All right, very good. What else you got? Because we're about, I think we're about, 2 minutes? What are you doing this weekend? Real quick.
What am I doing this weekend?
Oh, you know what movie's out this weekend? Naked Gun 2.
Oh, wow.
Date night, baby. I'm going to Naked Gun.
Is Naked
with
Gun,
or without my
Naked
date.
Gun is the parody one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like...
Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah.
Because I saw Happy Gilmore 2, and I was looking forward to that.
People said that sucked.
It wasn't good?
No, it bummed me out, man. It really did.
Why?
It started out with a really good storyline, and I was like, okay.
Yes.
We're going to have a brand new movie.
Happy Gilmore is...
And then, I don't want to spoil it.
Down and out.
I don't want to spoil it.
Okay.
So anyway, the thing that really bugged me is they kind of did what Christmas Story did. Did you see that? Where they had callbacks to the original movie with clips.
Yep.
But then they just kept going back to the well over and over and over again. And I was like, you guys were so close to creating something that was tied to the original but unique and could stand on its own. And you just went back to the well one too many times.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
There's a lot of cameos, though. A lot of celebrities in there.
Oh, really?
A lot of celebrities.
Anybody you want to mention?
I know there were some famous golfers, but I don't know who they were.
Okay. Well, golf isn't really a sport.
No, and you don't watch it on TV. It's stupid.
What?
Golf is the worst sport to watch on TV.
Well, it's not a sport.
I remember saying to my wife, she goes, "Are those real golfers?" I was like, "I have no idea. Could be actors. Either way, they're doing a decent enough job."
So just so we're clear, the reason I said that was to trigger Joan. Because I felt like she was a little quiet during the crisscross handoff.
Sometimes she does. She gets a little quiet.
Yeah, so I had
was so engaged in the conversation.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Were you active listening?
Yes.
All right, now Nick says Happy 2 was fantastic.
I think Nick needs to get checked out. We need a wellness check on Nick.
Okay, very good. I don't know. Let's see.
It wasn't terrible. I don't think it was as bad as some of the reviews are making it out to be. But it wasn't great either. And it had the potential to be great.
Tim Jones has sent me real quickly a dad joke.
All right, let's hear it.
Or a Dan joke.
A Dan joke.
I was wrong one time. What happened was I thought I was wrong, and it turns out that I was right. Thank you.
One time I thought I was wrong. Turns out I was mistaken.
My dad actually used to say that.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Did your dad do dad jokes?
Oh, yeah.
My dad didn't, but I am like. Shut up, Joe.
Just get out of here. You're wandering back in, you doddering old man with memory issues.
Put some pants on, Joe.
Did you see him get lost on stage immediately?
No.
When they walked him out, they're like, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest president of all time, Joe Biden. And then everybody's like, whoa, wow, wow, wow. And then the microphones gave out, so he couldn't give his remarks right away.
Oh,
and then he turns around, and in a span of about 15 seconds, he forgot the stairs that he came up. And he's like, where am I going? And he's just pointing around.
You know what? It's just a reminder that the Democrats did make the right move ultimately in removing Joe, but I don't think that they went about it the right way. But whatever.
I'm excited for another Kamala run. I want to see what she can do with a little more time.
Jeez,
Joe,
I can't get him to shut up.
Joe, get out of here.
Did you see the video where she was talking to somebody like next to her? She's holding her hand up like this and she's talking.
Yep, I did see that. I don't know what that's from though.
I'm getting the windmill of doom. I gotta go. I got in trouble for like being late.
Yeah.
So Sam is being really aggressive.
Yep. It was an aggressive windmill.
Yeah, very much of an aggressive windmill.
He's learned that from Mason.
Gonna hurt himself.
I apologize.
All right, Joan, go. What's coming up?
The White House shift on tariffs, and police in West Tennessee name a suspect in a quadruple murder. Those stories and more at 9 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Joan. 8:55. Dan here. DT McCall's a great Tennessee company. They are here for their fellow Tennesseans with great prices, selection, and value as well. Listen, if you need some furniture for the house, if you need some appliances, this is the place you want to go. DT McCall's. I've been telling you for years about these folks. They've been helping out Middle Tennesseans for 3 generations. And if you need it, they've got it, especially appliances. I've bought a couple from DT McCall's. If it plugs in, they've got it, and they've always got specials going on to save you money. Check out their website. It is dtmccalls.com. Remember, if you buy it, they are going to deliver it for free and haul away the old stuff. 5 locations across Middle Tennessee. Tell them Dan told you to reach out. Carthage, Cookeville, Lebanon, Lafayette, and Franklin. Again, always online. dtmccalls.com.